Hello and welcome to another beautiful race day with Project Cars Drivers Club. Today we've got our extra special endurance season finale race. Finale of season 3. It's race 3 in our endurance series. We've made a series of these endurance races that we have at the end of each season here, and we'll be at Bathurst today racing for a total of 2.4 hours at Bathurst here. We got a fairly sizable grid, 20 cars out there on the mountain today. GT3 class, everybody was sick to death of the touring cars, so we're gonna go ahead and race GT3 for this, and I think everybody's gonna have a real good time. So we are currently a little over 15 minutes into the qualifying session, and Bill Kerman is leading so far, with Jim Boom just a couple of tenths behind him. We had a practice race yesterday, and those two were very, very close as far as race pace goes. So we could have a little bit of a competition here between the two. And that's Extrovert rounding out the top 3 for qualifying. He is in the pit box now. We'll phase through the wall and go get a little peek at him. We also have a fair number of custom liveries to ogle before the race starts here. The guys will have about 12 minutes left to get some times in. I forget who all has custom liveries. There's one. Zedian's Porsche. Bang bang of the backfire. A good angle on this. I want to see what he's got. PCDC. Bathurst. Represent. Sponsored by Logitech. Oh, nice. Way to go, Zedian, getting that Logi sponsor. Let's see what else we got. Oh, here we got How Good Am I's beautiful Fiat 500. The GT3 Fiat 500. The beautiful, beautiful neon 80s color scheme. I love it. Some might find that loud. I find it absolutely amazing. How's my driving? Race me and find out. Good work on that. That's beautiful. See, who else has something? Touring Bars, Italia, Nissan, Barilla, sponsored by Barilla. They make pasta, don't they? The double Z, it's got Mario on the hood. A very patriotic tribute to his home country. Then we got Silvio Berlusconi, I believe. I could be wrong, I don't know. They all look like Mario to me. Mustache. This is just amazing. Alright. This is my favorite so far. Jersey Shore. I haven't really previewed any of the liveries. I threw the livery pack in before the race. What does the top say? Oh, I missed it. We're gonna scroll till we get to the top. Oh man, I can't get it. Where's the top? It says something about eat some spaghetti. Okay, I'm gonna stop being spastic with the camera. That is hilarious though. Is that a custom livery or is that a standard one? Really tasteful either way. I actually really like that one. I wonder if I can... Sula has returned to defend his title for Endurance Champion. That should be mentioned. Absent during the last season, but in season 2 he was pretty dominant, and then he won season 1 and 2 endurance race. Miffy, here's another one. Got the Pinty sponsor on the wing and on the side. MLG, AMG. Patty's Irish Pub sponsorship. iRacing cart, yeah, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Still iRise. Oh, he's got the Never Been. I used to have that on my BMW. That's hilarious. Good taste, Miffy. My IRL BMW had that, and then it got totaled. I parked it on the street. Some drunkie smashed my BMW 325 Xi. It's a 2001. God bless. I miss it every day. Someone having a little frolic through the grass. Barney just chilling out there. Phosphorus in the Nissan. A lot of these cars just recently got bopped and balanced, so it should be interesting to see if these Nissans can make their way to the top. Bill in the Renault, surprisingly. We haven't seen a lot of Renault action in our GT3 series, but now we got it. And Jeb with a have a nice day with a another Nissan here. Let's go through my list and see how many custom liveries we got in this pack. The blue Acura. Who's got the blue Acura? That looks... Yeah, is this... Yeah, this is a custom job. I think Echo's... I think that's just a real-life IMSA livery, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the Continental Series IMSA. I forget which team that is, of course. What else we got? Oh, yeah, we got somebody's got the Audi with... Somebody's got an Audi with absolute madness of a decal, but I can't find them. That's not it. That's me. There's Ice's livery. Hey, I'm glad you turned up because this livery is hilarious. Based on deadmau5's very own wrapped Ferrari. Here we got the poop emoji. Number 420. This is just beautiful. A little bit of the deadmau5 logo on top, a little bit of Trump going, eh. just a lovely job here. Really, absolute taste. A bit of Pac-Man on there. What a beautiful livery. Now, who's got the Audi? That's what I want to know. And the Lamborghini Huracan is another one. Oh, is Bill's livery custom too? Yeah, it is. I forgot the Save the Frogs Renault. Nice French engineering here. So we got under 5 minutes left of quali. Looks like the order has not changed up. Herman's still in provisional pole position. Jim Boom second. He's cut a 10th off, but he's still just under 3/10 away from the pole position here. And Extrovert still in third place. Sponsored by Thrustmaster. Uh-oh. Look out. And Microsoft. Boy. I don't know how to feel about that one. No, that's a very tasteful livery. I like that. I still don't know our Audi and our Lamborghini. There's the Audi. Just look at it. Would you just look at it? Oh my goodness. What a beautiful piece of art. Oh, that's me on the top. There I am. That is absolutely amazing. Oh, forgive me. I'm not gonna be worth much for this qualifying session because this is way too funny. That is amazing. Congrats, Alboner, on a hilarious livery. Oh my goodness, these guys went all out with these. Ugh. So we got an M6, a Corvette, and the Huracan are not accounted for. Not that Huracan, different Huracan. Just about 2 minutes left. The top three's not changing too much. We got Have a Nice Day in 5th. Up there behind Echo in 4th. Turambar in 6th. Finn in 7th. Max 8th. Errol in 9th. And Lethargic rounding out the top 10. Who's got a, this might be a tricky one for Sula. Sula has been absolutely dominant in the endurance races. But what maybe Bathurst isn't Sula's specialty. He's quite a ways off from the top spot here. Phosphorus, a newcomer this. Oh, excuse me. I don't know why I'm yawning. I've had just bucket loads of coffee. Guess I'll have some more. Phosphorus, another newcomer this season. I don't believe was in the main series a lot, but well, actually, I think Phosphorus was in the GTE last season too. I don't know. We'll see what he gets up to in here. There's the missing Huracan. That's Mason with the X as the name here, with the good old Kermit the Frog. PCDC 999. Just a beautiful green and pink. And I don't know if you can see, but each one of those stickers adds, I think, 5 horsepower. Beer inside. I thought we just had... Oh, the qualifying is complete. No, they've got 2.5 minutes to complete their laps here. I'm not gonna give you an A for effort, Mason, but I'm gonna give you an A for how funny that livery is. And I love some neon green and pink clashing, just eye assaulting colors. That's great. Oh, it's got a Shrek. I like the beer inside. Get one of those. I dare anybody to get one of those on a panty dropper. I dare anybody to get a beer inside sticker on their actual daily driver. So as we're winding down, no real shift to the top 5 even. Top 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are... I think everybody's really stuck in where they're gonna be. Doesn't look like Jim was able to cut down that additional 3/10 to get ahead of Bill. Oh, what a beautiful pit entry. Yeah, that I can't even make fun of Mason for that. That pit entry to this circuit is just it's like a mini go-kart track. It's like a little tiny, like, walking path that you have to get your automobile down. Welcome to anybody just joining us. We're wrapping up the qualifying session right now. Sula, it appears, will be retiring. He's having some issues with his hardware. That's what was holding Sula back. Pedals are not reacting every couple of laps. That's a shame. It's always a lot of fun to see Sula's expertise out here on the circuit, but hopefully next time he'll have that hardware issue figured out. But it looks like we'll have a new champion for the an endurance race this time. The past two, the 2.4 hours in Nürburgring and the the 2.4 hours of Nürburgring and the Mason's ghost car is just going nuts. The 2.4 hours of Nürburgring and the what do we do last season? Le Mans multi-class is the one, both of those. So yeah, Bill Kerman, Jim Boom, Extrovert on the top 3. Echo, Have a Nice Day, Touring Bar, Finn, Snacks, Errol, and Lethargic rounding out the top 10 there. And then we got some other guys, I guess. Yeah, it's you know, the qualifying counts for something. And here we're going to restart the session because I didn't get the race director privileges. We're gonna throw to the pre-race show here at Bathurst. Check my chat real quick. Here we're getting race director situation sorted out. The walls are closing in. It's gonna be a lot of wall scraping and bumping off of
Hello, Dustin.
Bumping off of some stuff for this race. And let me voice. Hello, Polly. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Hey, you came just in time. We're in the pre-show right now, and we're setting up the race lobby.
Oh, okay. So in theory, I could race. Oh well.
Yeah, in theory, you could hop in.
No, I've just had a 2.5 hour round trip. I've done enough driving for now.
Yeah, I suppose you have. I'm not sure if the lobby is ready for me again.
I've just jumped in an empty one. I presume that was the one.
Yeah, we just emptied out of the qualifying lobby. So I'll continue with the pre-show until somebody adds me on the chat. So race 2 of the endurance season was GT and LMP2 at Le Mans. We had 30 starters and 21 finishers. I have a feeling a lot more people are going to drop out in this race at Bathurst because it is going to be bumper cars out there. The winners for LMP2 class, it was Bill Kerman at Le Mans last season, and Sula won the GTE. So Sula is well ahead of everybody in the endurance points for PCDC. Josh Click behind him, neither of which are present here today. So Bill Kerman probably gonna get some major points. I don't. Yeah, if he wins, he'll probably overtake Sula, or at least Josh Click for points. Errol in fourth, also gonna get a big boost from this. I'm not sure if Falcon is with us today. How good is, and he could definitely deal with some points. And then we got Jim Boom, who is an AOR endurance LMP champ, so he definitely has a good shot at it. Well, checking in the lobby yet. Carry on. So danger zones, the cutting. There's a braking phase and a kink, and you don't want to screw that up. it's it's like a weird, you downshift and you kind of brake a little bit and you start going into the kink, and then it's another hard braking zone and another downshift. All right. And another downshift into another left hand turn, and if you mess up your trajectory, it's gonna mess you up. Danger zones T9 to T10 are yeah, there's a wall on the exit. You go over a crest with a sweeping left-hander, and there is a wall. There's like 6 inches of curb, and then just a cement wall, concrete wall. So if you mess that up, you're gonna have a bad time. The S's, it's another pretty quick walled section where it's pretty easy. Well, turn 13. That's not. Okay, that's the chase I'm looking at. The S's are at the top of the mountain there, and yeah, another quick walled off. I just got disconnected from the lobby. Another quick walled off section at the top of the mountain. Let me try to reconnect to the lobby real quick. Bear with us. To anybody just joining us, PCDC.link if you want to join up and get in on some races. I'm in the lobby now. It looks like we're getting all set up. For now, I get race director?
You're race director.
Okay.
What was the reason for a race the lobby race? What have I missed?
We didn't have race director on the qualifying. I spectated a bit. For the race, I need to actually see gaps and the like proximity indicators. So the S's, next one, the Dipper. That's a crest where you brake and then downhill and then turn. And let me tell you, if you screw up that sequence of events, you'll go spinning off into the wall. There's grass at the bottom of the turn, so if you mess up your braking zone, you're gonna slide off. You're gonna tap the wall. I did it yesterday in our practice race. Yeah, it's one of many danger zones. Let's vote to start lobby. Go. We got 3 times tire wear settings, so there's going to be some tire pit stops. In dry conditions, you can do a 1 stop on hards. We found out in the practice race yesterday, if the weather turns overcast and some cold moves in, the hards get almost a little unfeasible. In our hour-long race, it was overcast for most of it. It was clear and then ended clear, but it was overcast for most of it, and the hards were absolutely unbearably slippery in colder, overcast conditions. So once that sun leaves and the track cools down, it's hard to keep those hards up. But see how it goes today. So we might see some tire stops. Hot weather will chew some tires up, as you might guess. The weather was unknown until right before the race, but it looks like we got just some hazy and like light clouds and some clear racing today. So it's not gonna rain down on us too badly, I don't think. That's all the I've got there. Expected lap times probably 204s a good race pace, I think. 204 to 208 for most people. I think we saw 203 from Bill in qualifying, but that's a bit of an alien outlier time.
What we learnt yesterday is Jim in the session? Jim Boom?
He is indeed.
Jim Boom and Bill Kerman are very quick around here.
Yeah, they are absolutely rapid at the circuit and in general, and they're very good matches for the top of the pack here. So we'll switch back. I got nothing else to show you on my nice little slideshow. Switch back to the action, even though there isn't any action currently. They're all getting their final checks done, and they're about to follow the grid, the race here. So, if you...
Oh, it's doing some crazy things.
Oh
some,
my.
Some witchcraft going on here.
Yeah, there's some, like...
Much better, Dustin.
Interstellar...
Because I'm looking at what you're looking at, so...
Interstellar, interdimensional phasing going on. If you haven't watched one of our races start to finish like this before, we usually do a manual start. We'll manually form the grid and then embark on a formation lap, and when they get back around, we'll start the racing once they cross the line single file for a nice, safe, clean start. But we're also, Holly, I'm sure you're aware, we're gonna have a mess in the I think it's turn 2 after the long straight.
Yes, that can be. It can be a dodgy corner on cold tyres, especially.
It can be.
Especially if people are running hards, where they take a couple of laps to sort of warm up.
It's a dodgy corner in general. In the best of conditions, when there's other cars around, it's a place a lot of people want to try for an overpass, and it's possible. An overtake, it's possible if you're extremely careful and you get the move done right, but on the first couple of laps, it's going to be a no-go there, and it's always so tempting for people. So hopefully we don't see anything too wild. But I guess we'll just see, won't we?
What were the sort of top times in qualifying?
Kerman got like a 2:03.7, I think it was, and then Jim got a 2:04. So Jim was just 0.3 behind Kerman. That might not be. I think it was 2:03.7 that Bill got. Anyway, Jim was 0.3 behind him in qualifying, but we know he's got the stamina to get through an endurance race, so he's going to be a big contender. And then Extrovert, I don't remember his time. Did you get any racing done on the way back from the airport today, Polly?
Yes, I did. Yes. I don't encourage speeding, but if you need the toilet, if there's a section with no speed cameras, you're going to go a bit quicker, aren't you?
It's just that's just how it goes, man. I know when I'm out driving my little Camry, I treat all like merging zones like they're like a pit exit, and parking is like a pit stop, and I just do everything as racy as possible, while usually not speeding. It's usually, sometimes maybe. God forbid you get me on these gravel roads out here. It's dirt rally all day when I get that Camry on the gravel.
Getting some good good spectating views of this. Looking good.
Yeah, the cameras are great on this circuit. We're gonna get a lot of spectacles here today as they go on the back straight here.
Top 5 cars are all of a different make as well, which is nice.
Yeah, that balance in the recent patch seems to have made a lot of new competitors for the makes.
Surprised not to see any Audis up there.
Yeah, the Audi, I don't think really... The Audi hasn't been touched for balance, I don't think, in any of the patches. It's just been a pretty... It's been an extremely serviceable car. It's my favorite GT3, but...
In the practice race yesterday, I managed to bring it home in 3rd. So...
Well, and that...
So I suppose if you like it...
And that also...
It definitely lacks in places.
Well, yeah, in qualifying you might not see the Audi at the top. Where even are we? Oh, we're approaching the start-finish. One more turn. In qualifying, you might not see the Audi on top, because it's not just the fastest in general, but what I really like about the Audi is you can take it anywhere, because it's got a really great neutral balance. So that's why you can see it on the podium, but you might not see it up there in qualifying, because it's very stable, and it'll take you home.
We're off.
We are off. As everybody embarks down the front straight here. Hopefully not too much funny business. That is a lot of cars going down one stretch of road. We'll see what happens into this first fast turn. I think that's turn 2 of the total circuit. Looking pretty good so far. Nothing major going on. That yellow car is getting a little close to the inside. I think someone overtook that Ferrari.
Some great looking custom liveries out there as well.
Absolutely beautiful liveries out there today. Everybody went all out for the liveries for this race.
In particular, I think Ice has topped it.
Yeah, that's
personally.
Absolutely great. There's a lot of them are really funny and also really like just well done aesthetically. So I appreciate that a lot. So yeah, Ice managed to get out of there with a position, but yeah, I think he did. Not a whole lot else going on. Everybody's keeping to themselves fairly well on this first lap. There's no place to pass up on the mountain. You have to wait till you get down onto this back straight. Basically, the only time you pass people on the mountain is when they spin out or hit a wall in front of you, and hopefully you get past safely. Looks like Pav is trying to make a move around the inside of Echo here. Got the outside for the next turn, and they're still side by side. He's gonna have the outside again, but it looks like he's got the momentum to take it onto the start-finish straight. Ahead, we'll see. Nope, not quite. Kind of turned into Echo a little bit, maybe a slight tap there, and he respectfully bows out of that. We got a big old pack of 4 here. Bin, Snacks, Touring Bar is up in the front there, and then Harold in the Huracan behind Snacks' yellow Ferrari. And it looks like we got some interesting runs, some changes in velocity down the front straight. I don't think anybody's gonna have what it takes to make a pass here. Man, this is beautiful. What a beautiful day for a race. Beautiful circuit, beautiful cars. Looks like somebody tapped that wall as we mentioned.
Do we know what the predicted weather is for today?
Yeah, I think it's going to be clear, and then I think we got 4 slots. I think it's like clear, some haze, and like some light cloud maybe, and some more clear. So nothing serious. Should be pretty dry.
Okay. What sort of tyres people are running? I know the hards work well in these sort of temperatures.
Yeah,
the softs overheat a little bit. So interesting to see some strategies from people. Yeah,
we're gonna see. Whoa, there's some wall action, it seems. Yeah, the hard tires are great when the sun is blaring down on the track and the track gets to like 160 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that is in Celsius, but it is warm. It's enough to cook an egg. So those hard tires are absolutely necessary when the sun's out. But once that cloud cover comes in, the track surface starts cooling off. Then that's when you want to see these soft tires busted out, because that temperature difference can be crucial. But I think we'll see some tire stops here. Although, I don't know. It might. I think a lot of people might just go for the one stop. Yesterday in the 1 hour race, I did a no stop on the hards, and that just, whoa, big spin by the Huracan. Ice makes contact with that Huracan. I don't remember who's driving the Lambo, but they're
snacks up there.
Yeah, they're not in a good shape either. I think Ice has the will to go on. He hasn't been busted up too much. He's got some definite front aero damage after that, though. We'll see how he keeps up with Albiner's beautiful Audi. Ollie, have you looked at Albiner's Audi? There's
interesting.
There's a little surprise on top of it, I found.
I can't quite see the top picture.
There's a picture of me on top of the car.
Oh, very nice.
That is still just hilarious to me.
Yeah, people have definitely gone down the interesting route with liveries.
They certainly have. People see a endurance race, a nice one-off GT3 race, and they apparently go nuts on the liveries. We've got more custom liveries in this than we did in Touring Car Series for the entire series.
How good am I? Is very colourful.
Yeah, it's very 80s. It's the 80s on PCP, basically. The color scheme.
I'm not sure what the Fiat's about.
Oh, that's the Fiat. That's a new Fiat 500 Abarth that he's driving.
Oh, okay. First time seeing a lot of these liveries for me. So.
Yes, new addition to the last patch, the Fiat GT3.
Well, it gets my vote.
It looks really similar to a Ferrari, and it performs really similarly, but trust me, that is French design right there.
We'll go Echo up into third, Extroverts down into fourth. Sort of changing about a little bit.
Yep, a lot's gone on in the race feed when I wasn't looking. Zedian now moving up into P9.
Ice has lost out one bit, down in 15th.
Oh, Zedian into P19. Sorry, Zedian. No P9 for you yet. You're going to have to work for that. Looks like that.
Interesting to see Porsches out there because they suffer with engine damage around here, especially in the heat.
Yeah, they're not made for this climate, but we'll see how Zedian pulls it off. I think he's the only Porsche out there today. That's Aero.
There's two out there. There's two Porsches on screen there.
Oh, is there? Oh. It's a good thing you're here, Paulie, because apparently I'm blind.
You've got a hangover again, Dustin.
I haven't today. I only had a couple of beers last night. I knew I had responsibilities today. It was a big day.
Let's get close up here in the mountain section.
So I think that was Errol in that Lamborghini that spun and got struck by Ice. We'll see if Ice ducks into the pits. No, it seems Ice has stayed out.
Jav's looking a bit hungry for fourth. No, that's Finn. Is that the Mercedes? Is that Finn?
Yeah, that's Finn KD in the Mercedes. Extra red ahead of him, and Turimbar really representing his country with his Italian Nissan.
Not sure what happened with Extra then. He lost a couple of positions like that.
Oh, yeah. We'll check in with him in a moment. Uh-oh. Big off into the sand. Finn almost goes
That
too fast in the
extrovert off.
corner. Yeah, that's extrovert off into the sand, into the bump in the tire wall, it seems.
I know Extrovert's done a couple of endurance races already today, hasn't he? So.
Oh, has he been racing some other races already?
He's been off, as far as I'm aware, he's on our racing quite a lot today.
Oh
so
man, yeah.
He's on this morning.
So he may be a little fatigued with racing all day, probably non-stop. Oh, yep. Oh, we'll catch up with
his damage repaired.
Looks like Finn is making the move on Turambar here on the front straight. Not quite making it happen. Finn backs out before the turn. That's a wise decision.
This end's quite quick in a straight line.
Yeah, those Mercs have not suffered for their straight line speed in any of these pops.
I think it's the moustache is helping him.
Oh yeah, the mustache it adds so much speed to a Nissan. You don't even know. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's an interesting matchup here between Turambar and Finn. I mean, the Nissan is fast enough in a straight line for its own right. There he goes off into the sand, and that's Finn.
Very, very easy to go wide in that section.
And now
you don't quite get the apex enough. Send you to the gravel.
Yep, that area it's just a lot. Every place on top of the mountain is like a blind turn over a crest, and you have to know your trajectory exactly. You have to know where your level of grip is exactly, otherwise you're going off into a wall or into the grass or whatever.
Is that a chicken
else.
nugget on How Good Am I's roof?
On what?
How Good Am I's roof? Looks like it's got a chicken nugget.
It does kind of look like that.
Very interesting.
Let me see if I can... Oh, it's a Pinty's chicken wing dinner, I think.
I saw a source of protein and I thought maybe it was a chicken nugget.
You gotta have your protein. It's so important for your stamina during these endurance races that you're fed by a nice protein-heavy meal of Pinty's chicken wings at your grocer's frozen section. Grab the Pinties. That's their slogan, isn't it? Grab the Pinties. Grab the Pinties by the horn.
I don't even know what Pinties is. So
I don't either. It's just they advertised on the Daytona 500 Canadian stream that we all watch. So it's a big meme to rep Pinties. I think they're just a Canadian frozen food brand. Oh! Looks like Finn.
Action. That's not ideal.
Finn's not giving up.
Jack was baiting once they backed off a little bit there while they were doing that.
I was expecting this group to spread out a little bit after that big off, but they're just right back at it. And now it's a three-way with Jack.
He's looking a bit slippery on the rear end to me.
Yeah, I'm sure keeping that thing straight over these crests and bumps and curves is... Oh no! That was...
If Sarumba was holding Finn up a little bit. He was very keen to get past Finn. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah, and it resulted in Finn getting a little too fast and kind of pit maneuvering into Turambar. And...
advisable never to overtake in the mountain section, really, unless you really think you can do it, because things like that can happen.
Yeah, there's no good place to do it. There's a lot of places where it's tempting and it's like, oh, maybe I can if I really stick it in there, but then you get stuff like that happening. But looks like Finn's no worse off for the wear. Turambar dropped down to 12th. But...
taking a bit of a route.
A bit of a route is one way to put it for sure.
Snacks seems to be keeping in 7th after that. Was it Snacks that had that incident earlier on the Lamborghini?
No, that was Harold in the Lamborghini. Oh, we got
incident in the background.
Who's that? Miffy had a spin going on to the start finish. That's
Very
another.
easy to go in too hot there.
The Lethargic's BMW got squirrely on there too. It is really easy to go in too hot. And I was just about to say that's one of the sneaky areas on track where you can mess it up. You know, the whole mountain section is so intense, but you kind of disregard the difficulty of just a simple 90-degree turn onto the start-finish straight. But I always take it really easy into that turn. I lose some mid-corner speed, but I always make sure I get onto that start-finish straight in an orderly fashion, because it can be dangerous.
From the racing from yesterday, in the Audi, on hards, turn 1 was very slippery on hards, for me anyway.
Yeah, turn 1 is another one.
Always wanted to slip, because it can be a very... If you get off the racing line, it's just, you've got no hope. You're going to slide.
Yeah, that's another one that I struggle with. The mountain section, you know, it's very clear how much of the circuit you can use, but the final turn and turn 1, just the simple 90-degree turns are some of the trickier, harder to master corners of this circuit actually, because they count for so much. Oh, Snacks is slowing down through that.
That's another one where it's important to get the run out of the mountain for the straight.
Yep, getting that momentum early can lead to many miles per hour faster at the end of the straight. Touching that grass a little bit. What have we got starting up here? Looks like Chris is nearly caught all the way up to Phosphorus and Snacks. And yeah, Chris is the other one in the Porsche here.
Yeah, it's looking a bit sorry for itself.
Little roughed up.
It's got a few lights left, it'll be fine for the night.
Yeah, it's got like...
Probably advised to get them repaired before the night. But
maybe. It's got like 8 front headlights. I think it'll be alright.
Interesting to see what people are going to do when it gets dark. They're going to put some softs on to keep the heat in, or...
Yeah,
I the curving makes hards work quite well.
Ooh, Phosphorus rubbing that wall pretty good, it seems. Yeah, that's, I think we're going to see our... Shoot, we might see a 2-stop, because during the night, you're going to want those softs. I've done a lot of practice during the night in the past week just to know more about the racing conditions, and you can keep a pace during a clear night. The temperature stays on the track pretty well, but it's not ideal. I think you could take a pair of softs or a bunch of...
Ooh. It's a bit slippery through there. Oh,
yeah.
He's lost his rhythm a little bit there.
Very sketchy. If you can take a pair of softs through the night and then switch back on the hards on a clear morning during happy hour, that might be the way to go. But then again, if you can make those softs last through the night, you might grab another pair of softs after that.
I'm expecting when the track temp cools down a little bit, that Jim might close up to Bill. You know, I just reckon the cooler temperatures aid the turboed cars a little bit. BMW's quite good around it. Expect to see him close up a little bit.
And what can we... I think yesterday in the practice they both ran hards on a no-stop for an hour. Did they?
Bill did stop, but for damage.
Okay.
Yesterday, but he didn't change tyres, so he went the whole hour on a set of hards.
So they're both definitely trying to work the pit strategy for maximum track time on a set of tires, I think.
Quite a lot of shady sections in the track now. Yeah,
that sun is making its way downtown, walking fast. There's Hillbilly Chris up into P8. Phosphorus is not having a good time behind him. It looks like seeing a couple sparks fly. Here's Finn, and how good am I? How good am I in the, I don't even know what color to call that. It's colors.
Car of many colors.
The Technicolor Jack and the Technicolor Fiat.
Yeah, that'll do.
On these onboard cams, you get a sense of how narrow and constrictive that mountain pass is.
Yeah, it's very sketchy, that corner. Why did we have to mention Joseph and the Technicolor Dream Cat? My other half's singing it in the background.
You're welcome. It's not as bad as having the Nyan Cat song stuck in your head. I've had that since qualifying.
I don't know that song, so it's all good.
Do you want to know it? So if
No,
you
I'm
take
okay,
a
thanks,
if you
Dustin.
take a look at Alviner's car here, there's a little rainbow shooting out from the back of the Pop-Tart cat, and he goes. It is one of the catchiest melodies you will ever hear in your entire life, and you'll never forget it for the rest of your
Well,
life.
I've got that playing in the background now, funny enough, as well. Well, that's 20 minutes down. All right.
Yep, we got just under the 2 hour mark left. And the sun is going down, boy, and the track temp is going to be going down. I'd say probably by the hour and a half mark, we're going to start seeing a lot of pits. Possibly sooner. I guess I don't know how fast the temperature progression downward is, but if it gets down, if the temperature goes down fast, the tires go down fast in terms of usability.
From yesterday, I don't know about you, but when the temperature dropped, the tyres within an instant, they were not very nice on my car.
Yeah.
But, so it'll be interesting to see. You'll start seeing people getting a bit sketchy, I think, in about 10 minutes. I reckon if it gets a bit colder.
Yeah, it seemed once the sun was gone, that same lap, the tires just stopped working. Hey, Tom's in the
We're
chat.
gonna get some slipstream. PCDC for the win. We obviously had a retirement.
Yeah, I guess so. Hello,
He's had
Tom.
enough of the endurance racing today.
Yeah, maybe he's earned it. Been looking hungry, getting well ahead of Jack here. That's where you make those passes. You get that beautiful exit, and sometimes you just get that perfect exit onto the back straight, and you can really make it happen.
People have also gone for different sort of aero around here. So some people are running a lot more downforce. Some people are running a bit less. The people running a bit more, I think, are going to struggle a bit on the straights.
Yeah, it does. It counts for a lot on the straights. I know Bill, per usual, is running as little aero as he possibly can.
He's a robot, so.
Yeah, not everybody can run low aero on this circuit, because during a lot of these high-speed corners, you need all that help. And there's a little surprise on.
Message to you.
Yeah.
What's it say on the back of his car? Can't quite see what it says on the back of his car.
Oh, on the.
Save the frogs.
Yeah, it says "Save the Frogs." Can we see in the cockpit? Now my interface is kind of in the way, but yeah, Bill's got a little bonus message for me there too. That's great. Love the work these guys put into the liveries. It just brightens my day every time I see a new one. So it looks like Bill Kerman's taken a 8-second lead over Jim Boom as the sun starts to fall. And is that ice back into the pits?
Yeah, Tom's confirmed he didn't have the mental capacity for it tonight.
Oh, I don't blame you at all. Yesterday we only raced here for an hour, and by a half hour in, I was losing my mind.
Yeah, I lost my concentration about 50 minutes in. So.
It was like
That's a second pit stop from us, isn't it? He's lost his spoiler. Oh no, he's got a new one now. It's all good.
Yeah, what?
Whoa. Does that mean he's retired?
Yep. He just hasn't made it into the garage yet. I thought they were gonna just work on him sideways.
I'm gonna have an epileptic fit in a minute.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's ice out for the race. He picked up some significant damage, and maybe those repairs weren't enough for him. At least we got to see that beautiful livery out here. Oh, the Porsche and the Audi harmonizing in beautiful German engineering tones.
Oh, we got Parney in the race. Didn't realise we had Parney here.
Yep, Parney's on Team Audi there.
Yeah, it's getting dark now. Starting to see some reflections.
Yeah, the
wonderful
lights.
iRacing livery from Miffy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give him too much camera time. Let's go back to Party. That is a great livery, though. It's really tastefully done. But we don't talk about that other race car game around here. Yeah, we do actually. Probably once a broadcast. But yeah, the lights come on. The sun is well below the horizon here, and those tires are gonna start sucking. A lot of people were praising the softs for quickness, but in that Australian sun, they don't last, so I don't know if
the softs is they disappear quite quickly.
Yeah.
They might have a lot left on the indicator, but they drop off relatively quickly. They last a lot longer, but they get quite cold. Get quite hard to keep the heat in. So.
Jim has taken off nearly a second, maybe half a second from the gap to Kerman here.
These cooler temperatures are probably aiding it a bit now.
Yeah. Right now, so we've only had 2 sort of major contacts. None of them forced a retirement on the spot, so I guess they weren't super. We've had 2 like moderate incidents during the race, but nothing major. But here's where, aside from the first couple of laps, once the sun goes down is when stuff will continue being extremely sketchy. Oh, looks like Mason is working on Raz a little bit here. Looks like, oh, Raz passed Mason at some point when we weren't looking. And Mason is holding on, trying to get that P11 back.
I know Raz was struggling quite a bit yesterday with hards on the Audi.
Yeah, yep.
But he had the back stepping out quite a bit, so we'll see if he can keep it together today.
Yeah, I ran hards for the hour yesterday in the Audi, but I think my setup was a little different because I have it really neutrally balanced and airing on the side of understeer as far as the differential and balance goes. So it's just up to that very edge of control where the car will either oversteer or understeer. I get it to understeer just a little bit in my balance, so it's a little on the safe side. The downside is once it does come completely loose in a setup like that, it's gone. You can't save it. But I didn't have too much of an issue. But I think Raz is definitely working with a different setup than that. But it seems he's carrying on pretty well today. Here goes Mason having a big think in his Huracan. Check in with Phosphorus real quick. The Nissan. We call them Nissans over here, but all the big boy commentators call them Nissans. So I feel I feel obligated. You want additional commentary support? Yes, Tom.
He's come and join us.
Let's see if I can grab Tom or if he'll. He'll just hop in on his own.
Let me go and sort it out. I'll then drag him out.
Oh, Phosphorus had that momentum on Snacks here, but there's no place to go. Parney, Albiner into the pits, changing tires, probably getting some repairs. I know Albiner had a little bit of damage, and Snacks goes too deep. That's that downhill corner that's so difficult. You go too deep, you touch that grass, and it ruins your run onto the back straight here. So that is Phosphorus up into P7. That's how you make moves on the mountain. You wait for the other guy to screw up. You don't overtake per se. You wait for the other guy to mess up, and then you try to get by safely. Not a lot else you can do.
Tricky action for braking down into the hill, because if you brake a tiny bit too late, it sort of screws you up quite a bit.
Yep, it'll on that downhill. I don't know if this is the right process or if this is everybody's process, but you come around the corner. Once your car is settled around the corner, before you start going downhill, you're downshifting, braking a little bit, and then rolling down the hill in a second with only a little bit of light braking to manage your speed into that sharp left-hander. If you are going too fast and you're already downhill and you hit those brakes a little too hard, it's either going to completely unsettle your rear end or you're going to be understeer city into the wall. Snacks.
Hello, Extrovert.
Losing it a little bit. Hey, is Extrovert with us? Hello, bud.
Hello.
So what happened with the race?
Oh god.
Too many of you.
Yeah, we heard
you've
been.
I did a 6-hour endurance race this morning, so my brain is a little bit overwhelmed with endurance today.
Right.
But yeah, no, it started off alright, but to be honest, I haven't had an opportunity to put enough practice in, so I wasn't as prepared as I should have been. And well, yeah, a couple of spins and it was kind of compounding one another.
Yeah, we watched you. We watched you spin on the straight.
Yeah, that one was weird. I was trying not to turn in too tight, not to cut off Fin K, I think it was. And it just didn't turn at all, it decided, and then got on the grass and just carried on. So, yeah, I think that really marked the end of it, to be honest. I think tonight I'll probably enjoy watching and speaking with you guys and yeah, observing more than anything.
Well, it's got dark all of a sudden, so
it has, yeah.
Even more interested now.
Yeah, so that's going to bring quite a big change to the race now, isn't it? It's going to bring quite a lot of strategy to it as well.
I think we're going to see a lot of people on hards now, pitting for softs.
Well, I was wondering on that. I was wondering whether that's necessary or not.
Well,
I was
saying to
contemplating it.
Dustin,
and Lethargic's just gone off, just at the top of the hill. He's back on though. That was a minimal.
I was saying to Dustin that the hards on the Audi for me yesterday, as soon as it got cold, it got very slippery. It got very hard to keep the temperature in. It might have been just a setup, but I found as soon as I put softs on, they were good, even though they weren't much warmer, but they were a lot grippier. So, see what depends what sort of setups people have got. I think.
Yeah, I think there's going to be two main factors, isn't there? Setup and also car as well, because they all handle very differently. And I think the Audi is one of those cars that really likes the soft tyres.
What happened there?
Bit too hot into turn 1. Also, Jim's lost a bit more time to Kermit.
Who would you guys say are the people to look out for? You know, the most exciting outcomes of the race. I know I've got a few key names.
Yeah, as far as moving, I haven't really figured out if anybody's steadily moving up the ranks yet.
How good am I has? So's Finn.
Yep. Yeah, they've been pretty hungry.
I'm looking out for. How good am I? I'm looking out for him at the moment, I think.
Yeah, I think the key one for me is Finn KD. I think he's got really good, consistent pace. So I think he'll be a nice surprise. He's had good pace in some of our races before, hasn't he? Yeah. I think this will be his first opportunity to shine with us, so which would be nice to see.
Yeah, Finn seems to have a very competitive spirit and competent driving style to back that up.
Yeah, very much so. And I'm not sure, is his livery, is that custom or is that in the game? Because it's really nice.
No, that is an in-game livery.
Oh, okay. Righto.
It's very tasteful.
Congrats to Project Cars 2 on that one then.
Yeah, they've got a few good ones.
Because we have got a few nice liveries here today, haven't we?
Yeah, Jack's Ice is gone now, but Ice had a nice one. Jack's got a nice one.
Turimars is hilariously Italian. It is so funny.
The moustache caught me off guard earlier.
Yeah, it is so funny. It's got Mario and Berlusconi on the hood and something about spaghetti on the roof, and it's full Italian, and it's hilarious.
I'm going to take the opportunity to get some nice screenshots from this race, I think.
Check in with our race leader, Bill Kerman, here. We'll stick with him for a lap so we can see how he manages these unbelievable times. I know yesterday, at the end of quali, I was 10 seconds off from Bill Kerman in qualifying. I don't know where those 10 seconds came from. I looked high and low, and I couldn't find him just laying around on the track anywhere. Does he have his headlights on? Or is that just me?
He does.
Okay.
He does for me anyway.
On my screen. On my screen he's got no headlights.
Oh, he is missing his front left on mine. So he might have had a bit of a tap with the wall at some point.
He's got all of his headlights for me.
That's weird.
Different for every one of us.
Very, very inconsistent headlight damaging. Alright. Well, hopefully everybody in the race sees Bill's headlights, because if not, that's pretty dark out there on the mountain.
Well, so I'm not really sure. Is there much in the way of traffic at this stage? I don't think the pack is spread out too far.
No, it looks like Bill has possibly lapped a couple people, but the traffic's been mellow enough. It seems like everybody's let him. The couple people he has lapped have let him by. More traffic coming up. The packs that are currently racing each other have not been touched by the race leaders yet. Here's Jim Boom, our P2, now 14 seconds behind the lead. But that is well within the window of pit strategy to affect.
Raz Daniels is in the pits.
Yeah, I think that's one of our first scheduled stops, probably. We've had a couple for damage.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because he does look a little bit creased, but I'm not sure as to why that is.
I think everybody looks a little bit creased out there today.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Chris coming up on snacks now. This section's really dangerous. It's
Back in 5.
you get that downhill left turn, which is extremely easy. It's another one where if you brake too hard, it'll unsettle you completely and spin you, or if you accelerate too hard. And then, before you can get really cooking around those next turns, there's a big dip, big bump in the road. So you have to stay at 50% throttle, hit the bump, and then you can power out of it. Possibly some action with Zedian and Mason coming up soon.
I think over the course of the race, Zedian is going to work his way up a bit higher than he is currently. But I'd like to see him in top 10. That would be quite nice.
Yeah, Zedian's qualifying was not great for him, but if I don't know, he's been doing a lot of racing lately and a lot of league racing and on different platforms, and he's practiced up. He's got the skills to pay the bills. That's without a doubt. But Paulie and I were wondering if the Porsche is really suited to this race even.
Yeah. I can't say I've already driven it, so I don't know.
They just I haven't really driven much of it either, but apparently they are real sensitive on the engine temperatures.
Yes, I do recall a lot of that. And the Porsches, what I do know is that they need to be set up right to be driven fast and on the limit. And I think they need to be driven on the limit to get any good time out of them as well, like more so than any other car. So there may be a bit more of a technical choice.
Yeah, it definitely takes some TLC to be competitive in that thing in Australia of all places. Chris is looking a little beat up, but definitely not defeated yet.
I have returned.
Didn't even notice he'd gone. Just been flapping my gums for a few minutes, and there you are. Zoom.
Hit the sound effects going.
I think we got enough sound effects in game. I won't bother. The Miffy looks like he might be up to Chris sometime soon, just by the look of it. Not got an indicator for deltas, but he's looking like he's got some pace going through the night here.
Just looking at the times, actually, it looks like Echo had a really bad lap last lap. He set 2:14, which is about 7 seconds off the Bill's pace, so maybe he had a bit of a spin at some point.
Yeah, that's definitely an outlier for Echo's pace this race.
Oh yeah, stands out like a sore thumb, that one. He was very quick in practice, Echo was. So. Although I'm surprised he didn't manage to tie it together in quali, really. Or either that, or Bill was just leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, Jim was only 0.3 off of Bill, but Bill definitely turned out for the rapidity on the qualifying session. But yeah, Bill was 0.3 behind him, but after that there's a fair gap to third place. We see the carrot on the stick just barely between the turns. Chris up ahead. Raz and Jamairi getting into something here. Oh, Jamairi going into the pits now with a little bit of front end damage. Raz trucks on in the Audi.
He's dropped a few places, hasn't he? I think.
Well, he gained one from Jim just now, but yeah, I think
I might be wrong.
I think the grid is with a couple retirements. I think our grid's just shrunk.
How many have we got left in the race?
17.
Still a nice amount.
Yeah, it's definitely a full circuit still. Here we go. Miffy's up to Snacks now. Chris overtook Snacks. I'm not sure. Snacks must have had a loss of control or an incident or something.
He's got better top end. Is he going to get it by the corner? Oh, very nice.
He gets in just in time. Yeah, there's a certain point. There's that braking zone just 100 meters back from that fast right-hander, and it's do or die time there. You have to really know if you're going to back out or try to stick it through there.
Because if you don't get past at that point, I find you're sort of stuck behind them for the whole mountain section before you get to the next straight.
Yeah.
Which gets quite frustrating sometimes.
Yeah. If you don't stick something there, you might not have a chance for another minute and a half. Oh, there's Miffy with a off there. Is that the chase, that spot? I don't really know Bathurst super well as far as section names.
Just keeping an eye on Finn Cake because he's lapping about a second a lap quicker than Have a Nice Day. So he will, in time, if he keeps it clean, catch up to 4th place. That'd be nice.
Jamairi's retired, and it appears Albaner is retired as well now.
Ah, that's a shame. But what happened to Harold? Because he's down in what is now last place, 16.
Harold, on I think the 3rd or 4th lap, had a spin and a big contact with Ice. Ice kind of T-boned him. Harold spun on the final corner, I believe it was. And
right.
There was a big contact with Ice. So Harold went into the pits immediately on the next lap. Ice a couple laps later.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I do like the new balance of the GT3 class. We're seeing a lot of interesting matchups. Ferrari and Mercedes here. It's definitely an interesting matchup. And then it was the Nismo and the Mercedes earlier. Some really varied car styles as far as strengths and weaknesses. They're all competing pretty well here. There's that tricky left-hander. Go ahead, Polly.
So looking a bit slippery there for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it looks like some of the drivers are struggling a little bit with that last corner in the hill section, trying to keep it on the apex and have a bit of confidence through it. It's difficult.
Oh, there's Bill trying to get ahead of Snacks. Okay, yeah, they made it safely. That was looking a little sketchy for a second there. You definitely don't want to go into that high-speed kink in your top gear side by side with somebody.
Looks like that's given Miffy a chance to pull away as well.
Is that Bill overtaking traffic?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Bill's just now getting into those packs that were racing amongst each other. So he's in the midst of it now. Jim about 15 seconds behind him still, keeping a solid pace. Not much has changed there in the past half dozen laps. Going on here. Same old thing. Snacks back up with Miffy now. It seems like Snacks. Seems like Snacks has the pace to get something done on Miffy, but is he gonna want to push his tires that much?
Can't make out if Finn is catching up with Jav. I think he is. A little bit.
Yeah, he's still lapping a second of that quicker.
Oh yeah. We could have a very interesting finish for Finn here if he keeps up that pace. Just approaching the hour-and-a-half mark now. We're midway through the night. Not a whole lot's changed in our top three. Echo's up in that third place with Have a Nice Day in fourth, Finn in fifth. How good am I in sixth place? Miffy with an off.
A bit late on the brakes, it looked like.
Yeah.
Going into the pits. His tyres might have gone.
Probably. Miffy's been pushing real hard, and those tires are probably chewed up.
Who's that that's joining us? Jons?
Yes.
Hello. How are you doing, Jans?
I'm fine. A little bit sad because I cannot race. But fine. My wheel is broken.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. A lot of hardware difficulties going on with people today. Sula's pedals weren't working. Your wheels busted.
I thought he was missing.
Yeah, Sula went through qualifying, and I thought it was odd that Sula was in like 14th place or something, like way off pace for his skill. But yeah, his pedals were malfunctioning. Oh.
Looks to me as if Snack's struggling with tyres.
Yeah.
Just gone in the wall.
Yep, that sideways grip is not really holding on for that Ferrari right now.
No,
Yeah,
but
it's
I think
looking a bit
that sums
poorly.
up the tyre grip point.
Yeah. What's your pit from in now?
Well, we're approaching halfway, aren't we, really? So people are going to start considering pit stops. They're either going to pit early or they're going to pit slightly later than halfway, depending on what the tyres can do.
I was expecting a lot more scheduled pit stops shortly after nightfall, judging from the practice race yesterday, but it seems people are really trying to get a one-stop in.
Yeah, and I think the weather works in our favour as well for that, really.
Yeah,
We got
absolutely.
very lucky with the forecast.
Yeah, it's looking very twitchy, that Ferrari.
Jim is now 17 seconds behind Bill, lost another 2 seconds. We'll see what happens once the pit stops
That's
come into
Snack's
play.
into the bits.
Probably a good move on his part.
just trying to look through the times and see what close racing we've actually got, and it looks like everyone's got about 7 or 8 seconds minimum between them, except for Zedian and Mason. But I'm not sure if that's going to shrink at all. I think Zedian's probably likely to pull away a bit.
I see some cars stopped on. Oh, that's the pits. Never mind. All right, I got scared for a moment. Yeah, if you look at the map, everybody's kind of spread out evenly, distributed evenly around the circuit. So it's gonna take the pit strategy to really shake up the order at this point. Oh, this corner makes me nervous. This whole circuit makes me a little nervous.
Certainly keeps you on edge for the whole time.
Yeah.
I must say, it's quite a duel.
Oh, it's the hole again.
There's that danger zone mentioned in the pre-show. that wall. There's no runoff. It's a 6-inch curb that meets a concrete wall. Oh, and another
I'm
one.
wondering if Mason's struggling a bit with tyres now.
Yeah, I'd imagine. And that Huracan is difficult to balance and set up as well, so that thing gets squirrely. It's fun to drive, it's very lively, but it gets a little squirrely in conditions that aren't ideal for it.
Takes a lot of concentration here as well, and just one lapse in concentration means you end up risking a hell of a lot. And at this point in the race, you know, we're an hour in. Normally we'd be finishing our event, so now's going to be the test of time to see how well people can actually cope with the endurance aspect.
Right. Yeah, and a lot of our drivers really enjoy the endurance racing, but it's always a test.
So Finn is only 5 seconds off of Jav now.
Yeah, Finn is just pounding out the laps.
Mind you, saying that, Havers brought his times down a little bit, so there's a much smaller gap between lap times. So Finn's going to have to work hard, I think. Because Jav is a force to be reckoned with as well. He's got a lot of pace, actually. So, Jav, have a nice day.
Yeah, I always flip-flop between the two. But I'm pretty sure it's a pun on the name Javier, so like it should be Hav,
yeah.
But it shows up as, it looks like Jav. I see J-A-V, I say Jav. But yeah, Hav is really, really great consistency this season. He's been a force to be reckoned with out there, as far as just consistent and defensive driving and just keeping a pace up without faltering. So definitely going to be a serious challenge for Finn if they meet face to face for a battle. But yeah, I mentioned in the pre-show, since Sula dropped out, Sula is the winner of the previous 2 endurance races. This leaves it wide open for Kerman to grab some points. Errol was very close on points too. It's not looking like he's getting a podium at this point, but you know, anything could happen. But Jim Boom, I don't think has competed in an endurance race for the endurance series with PCDC. So
I think he competed at Le Mans, didn't he? But
he did, but he retired in that race, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
I've got the Endurance League results up now, and I can't see Jim Boom on there.
Yeah,
he did start, but he didn't finish.
Right.
So
yeah. So yeah, interesting on those results. So Sula is currently in the lead with 72 points. Then we've got Josh Click, who we haven't actually seen him this season.
Yep.
And then it's Bill with 37. And with the amount of starters today, we've got 36 points up for grabs for a win. So Bill could actually take the lead here in the Endurance League if he can keep pole position.
That'll be quite a meteoric rise into the lead of the Endurance Championship.
Yeah.
That's you give Bill the opportunity to take those competitive strides, and boy, he'll take them. Let's see. Catch up with Jack for a bit. I'm gonna go grab a beer while it's chilled down here. Boys, hold down the fort, all right?
We'll do our best.
Fort held. Anyone you've particularly got your eye on, Paulie?
I've sort of been watching the gap between Finn and Jav, and it's come down a bit more.
Oh, yeah, it's about what, 2.5 to 3 seconds?
Yeah, so he's
Not
made
gonna
up
be
quite a
far
bit of
off, is
time.
he? Yeah, he's quite close.
Dustin's
actually.
not here to make it view it.
Oh, we've got the
Okay,
Thargic
Dustin.
is catching Mason as well, right on the tail of him. About half a second.
Position's Mason in? Is he the X? Presume so.
Yeah. P10.
Yes, it's the X. X marks the spot. In this case, Mason.
Finn's now 2 seconds behind
Oh,
Hav. So,
I got back just in time for some action.
yeah, you want to get Finn on the camera, mate.
Yep.
Yeah,
Finn's begging for some screen time here.
yeah, he's getting close.
But we've also got Lethargic catching Mason, which could be good to watch.
Oh man. Oh man.
They're
Oh
like
no.
buses, nothing happens in ages and then two come on at once.
Right? What are we gonna do?
Finn's gonna be the one to watch, I think.
Yeah, we've been waiting for this move by Finn for a while.
I'm wondering if he's going to get close enough to do it before the mountain, otherwise he's...
Oh,
hold on, Hav's in the pits. So he's obviously seen that and thought, no, I'm not having any of this, I'm going to act on it.
Right, with an hour and 20 minutes left in the race, I think Hav sort of did the math there and said not worth a battle here. He knew it was coming, and he knew Hav knows very well what it's like to hold a person off for 45 minutes, and he knows the cost of it. So that was.
I presume you've seen quite a lot of that in the season, then, have you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he knows how to make his car as wide as possible. So.
Yeah. And he knows what it does
That's
to
good.
your tires, even after an hour-long race. So with more than that left in the race, I think he made a sound strategic decision to duck in for tires now.
Strategic-wise, yes, I agree. For giving us a show, I totally disagree. He shouldn't have done that.
I'm with you there. I'm with you there. We're looking forward to it. That's Finn up into fourth, but now we can see what goes on with Lethargic and Mason here.
Looks like the Lethargic was getting a little bit out of shape through the mountain there.
Yeah, went a bit deep into that, didn't they?
Yeah, struggling a little bit.
So I reckon we're going to start seeing a few more pit stops now then.
Yeah, we're halfway.
People must be running a bit. Can we get a speedo up, see what people's fuel levels are, Dustin?
Oh, good idea, Polly. Here's Lethargic with 34, and forgive me if you're prone to seizures, you may want to look away for the next 2 minutes because I'm going to be tapping through cameras real fast. 25 liters for Bill. We'll get there. 23 liters for Jim. So Jim's got a little less fuel than Bill. We'll see how that fits into his strategy. Echo's got...
Bear in mind, I think some of the cars are a little bit juicier than others.
Yeah.
And I think they're probably a little bit better than BMW.
Yeah.
Plus, some of them have got different sized tanks as well, actually. So there's a lot of variables. Actually.
Some are 110, some are 120, some are 130. So
Which ones? I can never tell which are turbo and which are not. I can't keep those straight all the time, but that makes a difference in fuel
I know the
consumption too.
Ferrari's turbo.
The ones that are not turbo are the Lamborghini, the Porsche, the Audi, and the Mercedes.
Okay. So
The rest, I believe, are turbo.
doesn't seem to be making too much of a difference in Finn's case because he's got the least fuel of the front runners with 21 liters, so he's going to definitely need a pit sooner than later. How good
I
am
think
I?
the Mercedes has one of the bigger fuel tanks.
It seems to be, in Finn's case, just guzzling it.
Yeah,
Phosphorus
probably
27.
One of the hungrier cars out there.
Yeah, it's got a big mean engine on there. Needs lots of food.
The most fuel, the better one on fuel is the Porsche, I think. But it's just getting it being up there.
Have with
a bit of damage.
I know someone who could drive the Porsche right at the front.
Yep.
The Porsche man.
So out of the top 10 so far, only Have has a full tank of fuel and fresh tires. Everybody else has about 30 to 35 liters. So everybody in our top 10 is going to need to pit probably 10 minutes from now-ish. And Finn before anybody with the least amount of fuel in the top 10. We'll continue down the list here. 28 for Mason. 85 for Miffy. He went in early in the race, didn't he?
Yeah, he pitted fairly early.
So that'll...
Why?
He's got 80.
What I wanted to see.
Got 84. Everybody else either... Well, Have has a full tank. Everybody else has like 30. So that could work out for Miffy. I don't really feel like doing the math on it, but it'll be interesting. We'll have to keep an eye on Miffy to see if that serves as an undercut or not.
Oh,
Snacks has
on
104.
mountain for Phosphorus. He's just got back going again.
Yep. So Snacks has nearly a full tank as well. So Miffy and Snacks are in an interesting position, sort of offset from everybody else's strategy. And Raz with 82. I want to see some Audis on the podiums. Polly and I were talking about the Audis. They'll sure take you home. They're not the quickest in every situation, but they're quite stable. So
We got the Audi on the podium yesterday. Doesn't count, but we got it up there.
yeah, that counts to us Audi guys.
I was well off second, but it was on the podium. I was in second at one point.
So 12th through 16th have already pitted early in the race, although Errol with 64 definitely is going to have to by the end.
Or Hav's on the back of Chris now. Nobody Chris. What I wanted to see, well, we'll have to keep an eye out when Finn pits, and see whether Hav's managed to do an undercut or whether Finn manages to do an overcut.
Right.
Because that could be interesting. Because Hav could lose out by the sheer fact that he's pitted early.
Zeddying into the pits in his Porsche. Oh, son!
Oh, and Hav's through.
That looks sketchy. A little bit of fireworks from Chris there. Raz looking up to Snacks here. Is that Bill behind him then? Yeah, it could be Bill interrupting this battle shortly as soon as it forms.
Bill's the only Renault, isn't he? I think.
He is, and it's definitely a offbeat choice for GT3. Not a lot of people driving those Renaults, but was that what we drove for the Rapuna Park race? Was the Renault?
No, that was the Acura.
Oh yeah.
The Renault is definitely an okay looking car.
I love the Renault. It looks absolutely gorgeous.
I'm just not a fan of Renault.
I like the Clio. Oddly enough, as much shit as I talk on hatchbacks and Renault and the French in general, I do really like the Clio.
I like the Clio Cup car. That's quite nice.
Yeah.
Raz looks a little bit slippery there to me.
Yeah.
Oh, got a car in the wall.
Max.
Yellow Ferrari.
Max.
Again.
Yeah, looks like he's starting to struggle. I'm guessing he's behind again. He's going wide. I'm guessing he's really starting to lose focus now.
Once you lose your rhythm, it's hard to get it back around there.
Yeah, very much so. You need to keep going clean to get to the end and still have some motivation.
While I've got the standings up, since this is our endurance races, our season finale races, very celebratory tone to these races. I do enjoy them very much. I will run through our season 3 winners for the different series here while we're watching this battle between Parney and Harold. Overall winner for season 3 is Echo. Zedian in 2nd overall for points, and Bill in 3rd overall. The main series that we broadcasted and watched all of in the touring cars, Echo took 1st in the touring cars. Here we go, Harold making the pass on the back straight. Gets in before the kink, and the deal
Very
is
nicely
done. So Echo won the touring cars in the Renault. Zedian, also in a Renault, took 2nd, and Bill in the BMW took 3rd for that. And Have and Apex Envy behind them were also big competitors in the touring cars. In the KTM Crossbow Support Series, we had Paulie winning the support. Congrats, Paulie.
Oh, nice. Well done, Paulie. Didn't realise you won that.
Yeah, it was tense. I had to have 2 good finishes at Sonoma, and it happened.
Nice. That's lethargic into the pits.
Who was FNR? Who was our FNR champion for Friday night races? I can't remember.
Will snap over there. For
Was it
support,
Extrovert?
support 2nd was Echo, Zedian 3rd, and support FNR, which is our random car, random track, random weather series that we do on Fridays. Extrovert was the winner for the FNR series by a fairly large margin. He had 62 points. Next was Snacks with 38 for FNR, and then Meeksta with 35. So a pretty close battle between 2nd and 3rd for FNR championship.
I do like the FNR series.
Bit of a moment from Jim. Jim's not caught up like I thought he would.
Boy, and he's running his gas tank and his tires ragged out there. He's got 7 liters to complete this lap.
I think he'll be pitting end of this lap.
He better.
I think there'll be quite a
He'll
lot of
have
fuel
to.
for that.
Yeah, he'll have to.
Or Bill will be pitting soon. And Echo.
Jim actually Jim actually overtook Finn for fuel consumption.
How about, so is it top 4 that are left to pit, is it? How good am I? Looks like he's a fair distance behind. Oh no, he's quite low as well.
Yeah.
Hillbilly Chris needs to pit. Phosphorus needs to pit. Mason still needs to pit.
Quite a few to still pit then.
Yeah, nearly everybody. Have is the only person. Have and Mason and Miffy in the top 10 have some fuel. Everybody else is gonna have to go in real soon.
It'll be very close for Miffy though, isn't it?
I think the worst one actually, Harold and Parney are both on 54 and 61 litres. I don't know if that's enough to go to the end, you know.
No, it won't
Yeah, no.
It puts them in an unfortunate situation, I guess. Oh, Lethargic's just taken a meeting with the wall.
be. No.
Oh yeah, he's looking a
Oh,
little
lots
beat
of
up.
damage. I even see a dent in the roof, so that must have been a hard impact.
Ah, Finn's in the pits now, so this is going to be good to see where he comes out in relation to Have a Nice Day,
Right.
who is just on the back straight at Kink.
Well, a pit stop for tyres is around, in total, around about 45, 50 seconds. Might be
I
less
think
than
he's
that.
doing tyres at the moment.
Oh, we might have that battle renewed between Hav and Finn here.
It's looking close, isn't it? Hav's
Yeah.
now at the last corner and Finn's not moving. Oh, Finn's just started moving now. So this is going to be close because it's quite a long pit straight actually.
How far down the pit lane is he? Is that him just coming
He's,
to
yeah, he's nearly at the end of it.
Hav's gone past. Hav will have gone past. So battle may commence
There he
as
is.
it was before the pits.
Have timed that right with his pit stop?
Yeah.
Where
I'm really impressed with that actually because I genuinely thought that Finn carrying on lower fuel would pull away, but Hav's managed to make it work, so that's really good.
It's very interesting.
Wonder what sort of tyres he's gone for. Shame we can't see.
They're of the round variety.
That's a good start. Can you not see from spectating this?
I don't even know what they look like in terms of difference between the compounds.
Oh, I thought you got a thing in the top right. Might be
Oh,
wrong.
yeah, oh actually. Yeah. Okay, hold on, let me just check this. So it says everyone is on hard tyres so far that I've looked at. Ooh, this is good information actually.
Race leader Bill Kerman into the pits now.
It's worthwhile information because it could.
Jim Boom
Yeah, Jim
ducking
into
into the
the
pits immediately after him.
Yeah, so everyone on grid is on hard tyres at the moment. So let's see what tyres Bill and Jim switch to.
Bill
Because
will
it's not-
almost
you know, they might want to
certainly
go
put. Bill 100% put hards on.
Yeah, if he's
Yeah, I'd
gone
expect
this
so.
far through the night with them, he's gonna stick with the hards and just make them stick for the rest of the hour.
Momentarily, even though it's in the pits, Jim's in first.
Have a Nice Day has just, or is catching Jack. How good am I?
Oh, yeah.
How good am I pit yet?
No, he hasn't. He's got 15 litres remaining and a little bit of damage on his roof as well, actually.
He must have done a lap on his roof or something.
There's Echo into the pits now. He had enough for another lap, but he's not gonna chance it.
Yeah. Tyres are probably gone.
That's Kerman out of the pits now. Jim should be right behind him shortly.
Yeah, Jack looks like he's lost a little bit of pace. Must have suspension damage or... What's that Fiat badge? Doom into the wall.
Whoa! Okay, see you, Jack.
Oops.
Jack went
Looks
for
away
a,
then.
Safeway.
Jack went for a picnic, came back in 6th place.
I think we might see a pit from him this lap then.
Come out. Well, let's have and Finn through, and Finn's not far off the back of Hav, so this battle is going to get hot and spicy soon.
Yeah. So that's Jim out of the pits with a 30-second gap to Bill now. So that they're on nearly identical pit strategies, and it didn't quite work out in Jim's favor yet.
Just over an hour left.
Extrovert, I think this is directed at you. Robert Yan de Jong says, decided 3 endurance races in a single day was too much.
Yes, that was me. Yes, Mr. Trippy, aka Robert Yan de Jong. Yes, it is too much. I don't think I can manage. Well, I couldn't manage this one, so I think a third one's probably going to be too much. I was potentially going to be featuring in another endurance race after this, which is currently underway. We're going to be doing the late night stint. And that would have brought my total up to about 14.5 hours entered, not driving, but entered at least.
It's some interesting ambition on your end, I'll say that.
It was a hope and a dream, and it never came true.
How good am I in the pits? Phosphorus pits. Look, I think we've had another retirement, because I'm only seeing 15 people.
Oh, Miffy retired.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Must have been a big impact somewhere.
Yeah,
I've
because
been close now.
Miffy was going just fine last we saw him. Miffy is typing in the chat in the Discord. Let's see what happened there. Oh, Finn and Jav are getting close again too.
Oh, and Mason is catching Jack as well. Now I'm guessing.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, he has. Yeah. So, Mason needs to pit, so he's probably going to be pitting at the end of this lap as well.
I'll have to go get a snack to watch you get this, I think.
Well, this is now with Finn and Hav. This is back in the position they were in, just as Hav decided to pit earlier on. So it literally continues at the same point as where it left off.
Yep.
We'll be able to hold him off like we can in the touring cars.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one to watch.
Hav is very good at defending, but Finn's seems to have very good pace in that Mercedes.
Yeah, absolutely. Finn, a very assertive and lively driver, so he's gonna make a good match for Hav here.
You're gonna have to try and do him on the slipstream, I think.
Oh, it's not fair. We've got a couple of battles going on as well. We've got Harold chasing Snacks, chasing Lethargic all at the beginning of the lap, and Zedian getting close to Phosphorus.
Oh, bit of a moment there for Finn. That stepped out a little bit. Definitely pushing.
Let's check in real quick with these guys. Looks like Snacks is angling to make a move. He's not gonna though. And they're back up into the mountain. I want to see this.
Lethargic had a nice twitch on the exit of the entry to the mountain
A
there.
little bit of a wall tap from Jav.
Yeah, he's managed to put the battle off for 15 minutes or so, but now it's back at his doorstep, and it is going off.
Who can get the better run into the last straight?
Well, I think it's going to be pretty much sold to the Mercedes on the straight line speed and the slipstream. So as long as he gets a nice exit here, which looks pretty tidy, but I think Hav made a nice attempt at it as well. They pulled quite away.
That's the thing, that little Nissan can rotate around that little hairpin really easily, it seems.
Yeah, that's true.
Now he's not close enough for slipstream now, unfortunately.
Yeah, the straight line speed counts for a lot here, but the exit onto the straights are absolutely crucial. rotating
Oh, yeah,
that Merc.
100%.
Rotating that Merc through these 90-degree turns and hairpins is a little bit of a difficulty.
It's closing in again. Oh, bit of a
Whoa.
sideways moment from Jeff. It's a very tail-happy car, that.
He's under caution right now.
So while we were watching this, Zedian moved up into P9 while
Very good
people were in
run
the
from
pits.
Finn. Very good exit.
This could be it. This could be it.
He's
But
up behind him.
has gone defensive and taken the inside line, so he could emerge from here still ahead. Oh, it's close.
He's going to be the one to back out.
Nobody's gonna back out today.
There was a bit of contact there from Hav, but only just. He's really not leaving him much room, and neither of them are. But Hav's emerged in front at the moment.
Oh no! They're still
Good
going.
score. Tuck
Oh
him
my
back behind.
goodness. There's only so long you can go side by side on the mountain.
Jeff's certainly feeling the pressure, I think.
Yeah, I think he's feeling a little bit more than the pressure. He's feeling Finn explicitly.
Into the wall.
Oh no. Oh no.
Damage.
And his
Yeah,
car
he
is
looks-
looking unstable after that.
Oh, that's such a shame. Such a shame. They both did really well to go side by side at the beginning of the mountain.
That's very good.
He's put his rear brake lights out of action and he didn't even hit it with his rear. So that must have been a big hit.
Track's now open now for Finn to catch up to Echo. Which could happen.
It could. So I think Echo's been a bit up and down really in terms of consistency. His lap times have been pinging around between the 207s and the 210s and anywhere in between. So if Finn can keep it nice and stable, we'll maybe hope that Echo has some kind of issue throughout the race, maybe a spin or an off track or something, then yeah, he could catch him. But he's going to really have to work for it.
We're not seeing a pit from Jav though. Maybe there isn't suspension damage. Maybe he just lost his rhythm.
Yeah, it's very possible. He might have just needed to get back into the swing of it. A hit of that size can really throw you off course quite easily, actually.
So news from Miffy apparently had a pit stop error and was unable to get new tires on the car.
Ah, how unfortunate.
That is.
Hav's having another go here.
No, he's not giving in.
It looked like Hav may have suffered some suspension damage after that hit. It was really unstable, but I think maybe he was just trailing in the grass a little bit. It seems he's still keeping on, huh?
Well, let's go get a snack, I think, now. Okay, let's get a snack now.
Oh, into that
Oh,
wall again.
I was
It's-
just about to say that it looks like I think Finn's got the pace throughout the mountain, and as he was starting to pull away then, and then Hav's pushed it just a little bit too hard, trying to keep with him. And it's hit the wall.
It's so dangerous. The margin for error is nil.
Oh, totally, 100%, nothing. You make a mistake, and that's it. It's race impacting for the rest of it,
Yeah.
unless you're prepared to fix it. Saying that though, these cars can be quite resilient to damage. I mean, I had a few scrapes against the wall and didn't get anything from it. So if you get it in the right sort of angle, you can be alright.
Yep, I in the downhill before the back straight, that downhill left turn, I had to avoid a crash there. Slid off, scraped the wall, bumped into it pretty good. Nothing really happened with my arrow. It was fine.
Yeah, nice.
Is that okay? So that's somebody on the lead lap behind them, I think. Who is it? Is that Jim? Yeah, that's Jim in the Falcon livery BMW. Miffy hopped into the stream now. Hello, Miffy. Sorry to hear about that. It's the worst when it's just not your fault, you know? That's absolutely heartbreaking. Harold gone from last to 10th now.
Oh wow, nice.
Still,
Harold's a good driver. He should. It's a shame he got caught out early on, but he should be able to get a good result if he keeps plugging away at it.
yeah, he still needs to pit, but yeah, Harold absolutely has the skills to pay the bills here. He just had a bad run of it in the first couple laps, and that put him all the way back in the pack.
Yeah, I guess the only advantage for him in terms of this upcoming pit is that he can do a fairly low fuel stop, and he probably won't even do tyres, so it should be a pretty quick one.
Yeah, he's in a good spot for pit strategy here, at least, as he can kind of get an ideal setup if he's willing to. The sun's just starting to poke over the horizon in the distance. Not quite poked over yet, but it's coming, boy. A little bit of contact with the wall there. We'll see more of that by the end of the race, I'm sure, from everybody.
Harney in the pits.
Well, Harold tucks in. Nope, he doesn't.
He's gonna come out just in front of this battle with Harold at the start. I know he's well in front of me.
Harold pulled the old, yeah, I'm gonna tuck in, psych. No, I'm not. He scooped in what slipstream he could, and then jumped right back out to turn in.
He did a double bluff and a half. Still. Oh, but Harold's gone wide.
And Lethargic lost it on the inside.
Yeah. So they equaled back out, really. Oh, Phosphorus is facing the wrong way in the mountains with Harold and Lethargic closing in, so this could be interesting. Is he going to clear it in time? Because they are coming down now. They're going to have a bit of a surprise when they see that. Oh, sorry, that was that Miffin. That wasn't. That was Finn and Have a Nice Day. Well, Phosphorus has lost a lot of time in that. That's a shame.
Hav is still kicking up here. I thought Hav was gonna cut his losses and take a pit stop and grab some repairs for the final stretch here, but he's.
Well, judging by this, I don't think he needs to.
I don't think he does at all.
He's gonna go for it. He's gonna go for it.
Into the kink.
Inside.
Nope. Not.
No,
Finn tries to leave him some room, but goes wide there, losing control through the. Oh my god! Everybody losing it.
Just caught the back of Hav in that. Oh.
Perfect pirouette for Hav, and they're back at it.
You're loving that.
Hav gets points for style on that one.
Certainly does.
Right. Let me just go get a bit of cardboard and write up 10 on it.
Yeah.
He's getting 10 points.
He stuck the dismount. That is an Olympic dismount. And he managed to come out ahead in all of that. Having his beat up Nissan. Keeping the dream alive here. What a show. I love these endurance races. They just are such a celebration of racing to me. This is what it's about.
I was going to say at the beginning of that attempted overtake that when Finn went on the grass, that was very reminiscent of what happened to me at the beginning of the race. and that's it's very difficult to avoid that. But he did quite good to get it back on and try and tackle the car back onto the track.
Yeah, I mean, it was, if you go through that kink too wide, it's so difficult to keep both cars on the track. And
Yeah.
given the circumstances, those guys did an amazing job of keeping control in a bad situation.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it's nice to see the spirit is still alive in this battle as well.
Yeah.
And it might be that way for some time yet. I expect that Finn might be able to get back fast, but I don't think Hav's going to see the end of it at all. So we might even get a repeat of that, you never know.
Beautiful sunrise coming up here. Oh yeah, Finn's not taking it easy. Peeker on the inside. Nope, tucking back in for the proper racing line here. See what he can do on the exit. Stayed in that
Perfectly
slipstream.
fine. The sun's just giving perfect shadows on the right hand side of the track as well now.
What a lovely day.
Yeah. No, I'm really surprised that this Mercedes doesn't have a bit more grunt in a straight line than the Nissan.
Yeah, I mean they usually have that get up and go compared to other vehicles, but the recent balancing I think made the Nissan a little quicker because
Sorry to interrupt.
Nissan's
Got
always been
Mason
quicker
off.
in a straight line.
Mason's just done what Finn did when Finn and Hav were toe to toe on the back straight, but he did it in a much spectacular fashion and nearly hit the tyre barrier.
Oh, I got moved from Finn.
Oh, but Hav's back through. Oh,
oh, sketchy.
it's not really the kind of place where you want to be offline around here because you really jeopardise the following corners. That's not what you want to be doing through mountain sector.
Oh my goodness. Just a vicious battle as the sun comes up here at Bathurst. Beautiful stuff. Oh, he's got a good momentum going into the kink here. Not going to be enough to do anything with, but he's going to be right on his tail. Oh my goodness.
I think his best chance really is after the start finish and onto the main straight. But Hav just takes the defensive line every time, which doesn't really, I mean, if Finn can get a good exit, he just doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah. Oh, there's a good exit.
He's got a,
There's a good
yeah, he's
exit.
got a good exit
As
time.
Bill
Hav
goes
has a
off
little
in the
bit
back.
over here. Barely enough room for them side by side down here. So tight.
That's our race leader, Bill, that had a little off in the background there. He's coming around to interfere with this little battle soon.
Perfect timing. And Finn just went sideways around that right-hander. That was quite good.
That looks like done deal for Finn for the time being, but we know Hav. He's not gonna cut his losses this time. It's too far into the race for that. Man, that Renault sounds really nice. That's got some growl.
Oh yeah, it does. I mean, it's originally much faster than the GT3 spec series, so
Oh,
it's
really?
tuned down a lot to be able to race with the GT3. So
Okay.
to be honest, I'm not surprised that it's got the pace it has, but in Bill's hands, and that's even less surprising. So.
Yeah, Chris is getting up there with Raz here. Oh, watch out. Watch out, Chris. Not quite there yet. Let's check in, see. Oh no! That's Bill losing his rear wing, trying to pass these back markers. Is he gonna just duck into the pits? Does he know? Yeah. Yep, he knows he lost his wing. He needs to duck into. That might be just what Jim needs. He's got 17 seconds to Bill, and Jim doesn't need to pit. Jim still got his rear wing.
Yes, he does. That is exactly what he needs.
Jim nearly had Bill's rear wing there. So
he probably wanted it for a bit of extra front downforce.
My goodness, we might have an upset on our hands here.
So, I wasn't here around on Friday, but I understand that a similar situation happened.
Yeah, I was racing and not spectating for yesterday's race. But Jim and Bill were battling it out yesterday.
So I missed what actually happened there. Only just anyway. I caught Bill going into the wall, but
Bill,
was it coming past Have a Nice Day that happened?
Yeah, he made a big side contact with Have, and I think Have got away decently, but yeah, Bill got sent off track with that contact and spun into the tire barrier. That is
such a shame. Oh, and Have's just gone into the wall as well. Oh, and that one looks like that could have given him a bit of suspension damage, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. That Nissan's been through hell today.
he must slowly be accruing more and more damage.
You would think. You would think he would be, but I don't know.
If not, I mean, that thing is a tank.
Oh, Jim drifting through the downhill section here. Our new race leader.
Showboating now.
Bill is out of the pits, all freshened up, but he is 35 seconds away from Jim, and he's got 39 minutes to do something about it. And might be pushing a little too hard. Maybe not though. You can have a little scrape with the wall.
Yeah, I think that's manageable. I think the most notable thing here was always going to be that whoever keeps it the cleanest is going to come out victorious.
Yeah.
And that is very, very evident now with Bill being 37 seconds behind.
Yeah, it's very much a battle of attrition at Bathurst. You're gonna get some scrapes and bruises, but it's a matter of how long you can stay on your feet.
Yeah. What I want to see now is how much that's affected Bill, and see if he can get back into a rhythm, or whether or not that's going to slow him off and he's going to make any more mistakes, because that can bring Echo into play. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Echo's about 50 seconds behind, but if Bill's off his game now, if Bill's tilted, Echo could be in the running for second. But it looks like Bill's taken off 2 seconds already of his gap. So
Bill being in second now also changes the points situation a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, yeah. Bill, with a second place finish, doesn't have enough to rocket himself to first place in the Endurance Series.
Yeah, this is true. He's not going to go ahead of Sula, which means when Sula gets his pedals fixed, he can try and fight to retain that lead.
Miffy says, judging from the replay, it looks like Have ran wide going into the chase and lurched back out across the track as Bill was going past. So kind of a messy rejoin situation, possibly.
Yeah, that's a shame. That is a shame.
Yeah, I switched the camera to it just at the moment of contact, so I just saw a couple frames of Have and then some wall action. But now we get to see Bill properly driving in anger. Like, look at that pace. He used every possible inch of that curb he could. There was
Yeah, that was
microns between that car and the wall.
Oh, Echo's in the pits. Echo must have had some damage because his bumper's hanging off. So that actually brings Finn up into third place
Oh
now.
my goodness. Good show. Is that Av coming on? No, that was someone else. But that Have might be taking a fourth place here too. If he's staying out, he is.
Yeah, there
Av's
he is.
gonna
And
keep trucking.
That was Jim that went past. So Jim's just lapped Echo.
And we've got a good show for the last 36 minutes here. We got the stage is set properly. Jim is, you know, he's making it look easy in this BMW. He's had a couple slips and slides there, but generally it just seems very stable. I mean, I haven't driven the BMW here, but from the roof cam it looks like a pretty smooth Sunday drive for Jim. Like I said, there's some rear end coming out on the BMW still. Oh, this is risky. There we go.
Oh, actually, he's just passed Zedian, but Zedian's missing a rear wing. I thought that Porsche looked a little bit bland.
Yeah, he's just got the factory little spoiler wing thing on the trunk now, and I don't think that's enough to really compete at Bathurst. It is better than nothing though.
Don't see your pick for a Zeddy and you need a new spoiler.
What's going on here? Echo in the IMSA livery. I don't know what team that is, but
That
brings it up.
is Jack in front of him.
he's cruising. Man, now that the sun is out, the track is warmed up, and you can tell these guys are really pushing. It's looking so much more violent out there compared to the nighttime.
Oh, I think Echo got a bit of air over the hill then. And he's just had a tap with the wall as well, so he really is pushing, as you say.
I think how good am I is pushing quite a lot as well. His last lap time was a 2:08.5.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's very quick.
Oh, Jack making a big contact with the wall. Echo's getting a better run. Nice, how's my driving? Bumper stick there. Oh, a little bit of contact. Watch out, guys.
Sure there was any need for that particularly.
So that's Echo up into 5th now. Trying to regain the ground he lost.
Bill's not cut too much time away to Jim.
No, he took a couple seconds off straight away, but I saw him up into the 37-second gap. Now he's back into the 36, the low 36s, but it's not what he needs to overtake. Setting into the pits, getting a brand new shiny spoiler. And look at those colors pop. They just pop right into your skull. They're so bright. I love it. Boom. That's Jack's strategy with this paint job, I think. You know how in like World War II they used dazzle camouflage on their Navy ships. He's using a new form of the dazzle camouflage with a direct psychological assault on the frontal lobe with these neon colors. I'm gonna step out for a minute. We'll roof cam on Bill to see if he gains any ground here, and I'll be right back.
times are looking very close between Echo and how good am I still.
Yeah, it looks like Echo's starting to put away a little bit. I wonder if Echo's got enough pace to catch up with Hav. That lap was 2 seconds quicker than Hav's. And 2 seconds quicker than Jack actually, so yeah, he's well outplaced.
Well, albeit it looks like Bill's gained a second since I stepped out of the room.
Just over half an hour left.
So if we look at the last lap of Jim versus Bill, Bill is a 0.5, half a second faster on the last lap, pushing this hard. He's possibly a half a second per lap. I don't know if the math checks out there. He needs to get lucky, I think, to make the first place from here.
Yeah, the pace is, I don't think is enough for him to catch before the end.
No, there's even if he keeps the current pace, if both of them keep the current pace, half a second a lap, there's 15-ish laps left of the race. So that's 7.5 seconds he'll have gained. If the pace keeps up like this, it's not going to be enough for him. But anything could happen here. We've seen wilder things happen.
If Jim doesn't have any mistakes, then Bill needs to be gaining by 2 seconds a lap, really.
Which is outrageous.
Quite a big task, really.
Yeah, because Bill's
standard.
Bill's already
Jim is fast.
Bill's already pushing at almost his prime speed. His last lap was 206.3, and his best lap this race is a 205.4. So that would be 1 second per lap at absolute top speed.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask, really is.
It is. He needs a miracle here.
Then again, I mean, there's lots of things that could happen. Yeah, I mean, it's very easily that Jim could have a contact and a bit of damage. It's just enough to slow him down for Bill to stand a chance. But
yeah,
that's.
So that's interesting. If you go back to Bill, looks like Bill actually fueled up again.
Yeah, when he got his wing repaired, he must have gotten topped up on fuel. I don't know if he intentionally made that happen or it was just a precaution.
To be fair, the accident happened at the end of the lap, so he probably didn't have a lot of time to adjust or select a new strategy, so just kind of had to go with it.
Yeah, he was just like under that madness engine bridge there when he came out of it, so he probably just ducked in as soon as he could and got whatever he could out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
But back to Jim. I mean, we're talking about, you know, he's been extremely consistent this whole race, and that's why he's in the lead now, is because he hasn't had any incidents. But we've seen multiple times that back end coming out a little bit on that BMW, so it's spotless right now. But you know, all it takes is that step out of 1 extra degree than the normal slip angle, and it could be game over. So the clock's definitely ticking for Jim here. But he's a seasoned endurance driver. He can handle the pressure and the consistency, so we'll see how that goes. There's Finn, who fought his ass off for this 3rd place. I think he should be able to keep on that. I mean, Hav's 30 seconds behind him now. And still beat to hell. he's still holding on.
Right, guys, I'm going to leave you to enjoy the rest of the race. I'm going to spectate from afar.
All right.
Enjoy.
Thanks for joining us, Extrovert.
No worries, see you next time.
See ya.
Oh, here's a retirement I didn't catch before either. Phosphorus.
Yeah, I was looking. I thought we had another driver missing.
Yeah, Phosphorus said had significant heating issues, which I'm not sure what exactly that pertains to, but apparently it was enough of an issue that had to call it quits. I'll go mowing the grass a little bit.
How good am I has dropped quite far back behind Echo. He must have hit. Not much going on in the way of battles now.
Oh, Sam just joined us and asked what happened to Bill. So Bill was leading, and he was just catching up to Finn and Hav, who were battling for fourth at the time, I think.
Yes.
And I didn't see what led up to it. Miffy says it looked like Hav ran wide going into the chase and came back out in the track. I switched to Bill just as he was making some contact with Hav, and Bill went off and absolutely obliterated the tire barrier and lost his rear wing. So he had to pit for repairs, and Jim Boom was 16 seconds behind him, and that gave Jim all the time he needed to get out in front of Bill while he was in the pits getting a rear wing put on. So very bad luck for Bill. I'm sure he's going to be a little upset at that incident if it was anything more than just a force majeure type of incident, but he's still pushing the absolute somethings off of his car right now. He is just driving in a full fury right now, but might not be enough to catch Jim.
He's not really made much time up at all, has he, to Jim?
No, not enough.
I think it was probably adding fuel. He's probably changed his tyres again as well.
Yeah, he's
up a lot of the time.
His last lap was still 4/10 faster than Jim, but there's not enough time in the day now to really make it happen.
If he was able to adjust his strategy, adjust to the damage, I think he would have been able to maybe catch up to him.
Yeah, he didn't have time to adjust his strategy, so maybe if he didn't get topped up with fuel, it would have made the difference. And there goes Lethargic, passing Hillbilly Chris, gets the move done. Hillbilly Chris is shaking his ass down the straight.
Quite close between Parney and Snacks. It says on the timings they are. Battling for last position.
Wow, yeah, that's weird. It says Snacks is ahead of Party on the timing on the gap. The actual positional board doesn't reflect that. That's Chris spun.
With-
And he's off and running again.
Something happened to Jim. The time seems to be going down quite drastically between him and Bill.
Yeah, that's 5 to 10 seconds that have been gained in the last couple of laps. I think Jim probably lost that back end and had a spin or something.
No, Sam, I don't believe anyone else will need to pit. Everyone done their pit stop quite a while ago. It looked like it was just a one stopper. Dustin is fighting with his microphone.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta put the microphone in its place, you know. Literally and figuratively. I don't see any damage on Jim, so whatever. His last lap, oh, he must have missed it by a lap. His last lap was fast.
See what this lap comes in at. Wonder if he was just caught up in a little bit of traffic.
Yeah, that's quite possible. I don't know, 10 seconds worth of traffic though? Yeah, it was a 218.
218. Looks like he's got a little bit of front end damage to me.
Oh yeah, yep, that wasn't there before. He, something happened. Maybe made a contact, I don't know. I know Chris spun, but I don't think Jim was there when Chris spun. Although that could have been the reason Chris spun in the first place.
Maybe just got caught up a little bit in it, caused himself a little bit of damage.
Yeah, Jim is, I think his front arrow is pretty messed up from that, and we'll see what this lap clocks in at. That may have been the divine intervention that Kerman needed to get this battle underway before the end of the race here. Bill down to 22 seconds away from Jim now. Jim can't hit either at this point, I don't think. I mean, unless he wants to possibly settle for second, it would be way too close at this point.
Even if he was just a pit for damage, I think it would be too long a pit stop.
Yeah.
And he's the gap's staying reasonably consistent.
Yeah.
So it's probably not worth it.
Yeah, it seems despite the damage, he's managed to keep up a decent pace on this lap.
So that was a 207.
Now that's risky. If this next one is a 207.9 and Bill keeps up with his 206.5, that's putting him within range.
16 and a bit minutes left.
Yeah, the math is cutting close and it's constantly changing at this point. Oh.
He needs to make up over a second a lap, Phil.
Yeah.
Don't know exactly, but very good at maths. I'm gonna work it out either.
Well,
This could be interesting.
Yeah, Jim, if he does another 207.9, and Bill did a 207.5 on that lap. So Bill got slowed down a little bit.
Sam has said, I don't want to wish ill on Jim, but I would love to see him versus Bill for the last few laps.
Yeah,
that would be quite interesting.
I'm with you there. I don't want anybody to have anything bad happen to him, but boy, do I like these intense battles at the end of races. They're something amazing to behold. It's still possible. The gap's shrinking. Not by a huge margin, but it's shrinking.
I don't think, unless Jim does have another big incident, I don't think Bill can do it.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if Bill's sort of settled into the fact that maybe he knows he can't catch up, and he's just keeping his pace consistent now.
Yeah, that 207.5 was a bit slower than normal, but that's only like a second or two that he got slowed up, so that was probably just traffic. But here comes Jim up to some traffic that I don't think he'll clear before the mountain. Where's Bill at? Bill's got some clear air to work with here.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be stuck behind them for a little bit in the mountain, isn't he?
I think so. He's not gonna be able to get ahead of him, and his pace is probably gonna depend on theirs at this point. And Bill is right behind them with clear air, I believe. Yeah. There's nothing between Bill and Jim except for 20 seconds.
One is last lap made 207 and Bill made 205.
Oh, Bill almost hit his best time on that one. He's 3/10 off of his best time. So Bill's still pushing, and he is down to 20 seconds and a half.
Yeah, he won 2 seconds on this last lap.
Maybe he heard that I thought he'd backed off.
Yeah. Oh, Jim's making the pass around Jack. Around how good am I's very colorful Ferrari. And Jack knows what's at stake, so he... Yeah, Jack moves out of the way. He knows what's at stake here. Just cut the corner a little bit, but definitely didn't gain any speed because he was just letting Jim boom past. And Bill's still hanging around 20 and a half behind Jim.
Yeah, he didn't get held up as much as I thought he might in the mountain section.
Yeah.
Who is this he's catching up to?
That would be... that Echo? No. It's Jack back there. The Mercedes is Finn. It's a bit of a weird layout going on here.
First lap in third.
The first is about to lap third, and 6 is behind him.
I think he's about to lap him for a second time, isn't he?
I think so. I don't know. That's a very confusing, very confusing layout there.
What for you two?
Okay, Jim Boom just made 208.
What can Bill do?
Bill's going to make 2 again.
Him looking a little squirrely through there.
He is, isn't he? 207.3.
For Bill, yeah, one was
He's down to 19.
19.
18. Oh.
Well, there's going to be not enough time for Bill to catch up.
No.
Yeah, he needs to make up over 2 seconds a lap now. And he hasn't done that for the rest of it, so I don't, oh, that was a bit of a moment there from Jim.
Looks like Snacks a couple seconds away from Parney up ahead there. Chris a few behind Raz, but not a lot happening just yet. Bill is well into the 18-second gap now.
No echo.
Oh. Yeah.
Is echo retired?
We're down to 12.
Yes, echo has retired.
Huh. Puppy dog, what do you want? What do you want, bud? What's up? Want some belly rubs? What? What's up, bud? Alright, well, hopefully my dog can refrain from being goofy for 9.5 minutes.
Did he want some belly rubs?
He didn't. He just wants to sit there and just bark once in a while. He doesn't, he's not indicating anything. Oh, Kerman catching up to Jack real quick now. Getting around just getting around him with no time lost, really.
Kerman set another 2:05.8 that lap though. Lap before.
Oh yeah, yeah, he is pushing as hard as he possibly can. That's another one that's near his best time. Snacks getting pretty close to Parney. Bill's 16.5 seconds now. He's still at that margin where he needs 2 seconds a lap, and it's not quite getting there. So we got a 2:05.9 and a 2:07.9. Well, that's almost 2 seconds by my calculation. That's exactly 2 seconds on the last lap.
Yeah, he's brought it down a little bit more. Still needs a gym to do. Have some sort of mistake or get really caught up.
Yeah. Oh. Really using every inch of the track that he can. Maybe a little too much, huh? Oh, my heart rate is up in these last 10 minutes of the race. I'm just anxiously awaiting what's gonna happen here. I don't. Yeah, it's still. He's not gaining what he needs to, but there's a possibility of an upset still. Snacks a little bit closer to Parney than last lap, but he's not quite making up what he needs to. I don't know if it's the lower RPMs that the BMW runs at or what, but it just seems the BMW just seems like it's not even breaking a sweat most of the time.
It's a car where if you need to shift sort of at the top of the turbo range, not the top of the revs.
Right.
So if you go too far beyond it, the turbo sort of goes off and you lose a bit of time. boost goes off towards the end of the rev range. Good looking car though.
Oh yes. Five minutes, 25 seconds left of the race. Little danger zone for the Beamer right there. Snack's looking like he wants to make that move for P11 here. Tucking back in. You're gonna have what it takes on the exit. Possibly.
Don't know if that's just visual, but Snacks has quite a lot of front end damage.
Yeah, on my screen he's got a lot of damage as well. Snacks absolutely has the momentum to overtake here on the front
It's
straight.
just a visual thing.
And he gets the move done for P11 as they go up the mountain. They side by side? Not quite. Just a little bit of a different vector there. Barney was thinking about giving him the over-under. And they go side by side.
Not wise through there.
Oh no!
Barney gets it back. Very well done. That was very risky through that. Bill's brought the time down a little bit more. It's now down to 13 seconds.
Down into the 12s, but only 3 minutes and 15 seconds left.
He's done well to bring down the time that he has, but it just hasn't been enough.
Yeah.
Definitely with that refueling, new tyres again, which sort of threw it away, I think.
Yeah, that's all it would have taken is probably having a dedicated repair pit strategy, but there just wasn't enough time to make that decision at the time of the incident. Just about to dip into the 11 seconds gap. But Jim Boom is still trucking along.
So it looks like we're going to get 2 more laps. Unless, of course, Jim slows down before the time's up, which I don't think he will.
Yeah. Yeah, this is do or die time. If Jim screws up, if he bins it on this lap, it's probably over for him. So he needs to keep this pace up. Possibly the next 2 laps.
Whoa.
Pretty significant contact with the wall there.
Jinxed it a bit there.
Yeah, I've been working on my commentator's curse skills to add drama to races.
I'm not sure if that's affected him at all.
No, it doesn't seem like it. Bill was at about 10 seconds or so gap at the time of it, and it hasn't shrunk down.
I'm wondering if that just looked worse than it actually was.
Possibly. Well, under a minute left of the 2.4 hours of Bathurst here with PCDC. We're on with Jim, our race leader in the BMW. Kerman hot on his tail, 10 seconds away in the Renault. And we got the newcomer Finn in the Merc, rounding out the podium in third, which is just fantastic. It's been a absolutely amazing battle for Finn this race. And Have coming in a well-deserved fourth place too, keeping up with that pace despite how absolutely beat up that Nissan is. So 10 seconds left. I think he's gonna cross the line in time, so we got one more lap left in us. Oh, my goodness. All right, so now this is really the do or die lap. Kerbin is 9 seconds away from Jim. Jim has to nail this one more lap, and then he has won this race. Looks like Chris and Raz are getting into a little tiff and Snacks and Parney, but I'm gonna keep the camera on the lead lap here for the end of the race. So you guys will just have to tell us what happens there after the fact, because I've got all eyes on Jim Boom as Kerbin's only 8 seconds away from him. Yeah, looks like the mountain went smooth enough. That might be this race done and dusted then. Going through the kink, through the last.
They just about have enough fuel for what the one stop as well. He's got 21 litres left, so
Yeah.
runs it close.
Yeah, and Jim and Bill are on almost an identical pit strategy. There's a Audi just chilling over there.
Half an Audi.
Yeah, part of an Audi at least. And that's Jim Boom across the
Bill in
finish
the
line.
background.
And Bill just barely behind him, yeah. Excellent win for Jim Boom. He kept it consistent and fast the entire race. He got the lucky break he needed to pull ahead, and he did not let go of it. Bill almost had an unbelievable underdog story at the end there, but he comes in second place. That loss of a spoiler really just wrecked it for him, and he almost brought it back. Given 5 more minutes, Bill would have been putting up a fight for that lead. So that was just unbelievable competition between those two at the end. They go side by side.
Well, I will go and see who wants an interview.
Yeah, definitely top 4: Jim, Bill, Finn, and Jav if they'll have one, and then anybody else after that. But those top 4 for sure I want to have a word with. Also, congrats to Finn with a 3rd place. Finn, new to PCDC this series, put up an absolutely thrilling race to get that 3rd place finish. Really great stuff. Have also hard fought 4th place. Gonna have good points for the endurance series with that 4th place finish. Beat the odds in the beat to hell Nissan. That was fantastic. What are they doing? So that's Jack. How good am I in the Ferrari Fiat 500 in 5th place then. Zedian in 6th in the Porsche. And Zedian went from, I think, 12th in qualifying to a 6th place. Zedian absolutely brought the thunder on that race. Lots of positions gained throughout that race. Harold also went last at some point after a bad incident on the third or fourth lap. Went from last to seventh. Largic in 8th place, Hillbilly Chris in 9th, Snacks in 10th, Barney in 11th place there, gained a couple positions. Raz Daniels 12th, Echo 13th, Extrovert retired, Echo retired too. John's retired. We had a couple more retirements too during that. But congrats to our podium winners, Jim Boom in first, Bill Kerman second, Finn KD94 in third place for race 3 of the PCDC Endurance Series. It's been 2.4 hours. It's been an amazing race. We're going to see if we can get some interviews here.
Yeah, I'm going to pull Jim up.
All right, beautiful.
Hello, Jim.
Hello.
Hey, Jim, fantastic race. Congrats on the win.
Thank you so much.
That was great. How'd the second half of that race go for you?
Well,
Yeah.
for the first part, when it was still in the night, I was really quick. I was catching on Bill, and I saw that if I continued with this pace difference, I would maybe be on the back of Bill by the end. But then Bill had his crash, so I had some free air, and while lapping some back markers, I got a bit distracted, and I locked up the rear coming on into turn 2, and I had a big crash with the front aero damage and front suspension damage. Actually, during the first half, I also had a crash. I don't know if you saw it on the stream. I crashed into the back of a back marker. I don't remember who he was. It was entirely my fault. I was way too eager to get past. It was in the last corner of the hill. So that's the highlights.
Yeah, that was absolutely astonishing racing. Were you getting nervous there at the end? Or did you see the gap shrinking?
At the end, I was taking it a bit easier, especially since I was beginning to have some balance issue with the rear locking up into the fast turns.
Yeah, it seemed like after that we didn't see the crash that cost you like 10 or so seconds, but we definitely noticed that on the board that you had lost quite a few seconds towards the end there, and it seemed like your car was a little unstable after that.
No, you talking about the first half or the second one?
And the second one, I mean, we saw the back end come out a little bit on it a couple times.
One, I had some suspension damage, so
okay.
it was a bit down. And yeah, at the start, I thought I would be able to use my usual way of doing it, which is take it a bit easier, wait for him to make a mistake and everything. But I soon realized that it will not be possible with Bill.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you got the lucky break you needed to just take that position really easily, and then yeah, really good management of your race pace on keeping that lead towards the end there.
Thank you. It was a tough one.
Just throughout the race, just really consistent pace overall, and that's what it takes in these.
Mm-hmm. Plus a bit of luck.
Yep. Some luck definitely doesn't hurt. Oh yeah, congrats on your first win in this endurance series that we're doing. That was I know you've won some endurance races in the past. How do you feel about Bathurst? Is this a favorite track or not a fun track to endurance race?
I think for Bathurst, the 2.2 hours is the most we can humanly possibly do. No, maybe not, but I'm not a fan of the track, even if I think I can be quicker on it. I prefer the Nordschleife.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. The Bathurst is very challenging. I raced it for an hour yesterday with you guys, and it was more than I could handle after a half hour. But yeah, really well managed race, and it's good to see you finally beat that Bill. He's been some serious competition in this series and last series, so
For sure.
It's good to see some serious competition going on there. That was really well fought.
Yep, and maybe next time we'll have some more fights.
Yeah, let's hope so. All right. Well,
And I wanted to say thank you for the job you do with the stream and everything.
oh, absolutely. And
Thank you, Jim.
watch it back if you get a chance, because this was a really fun race to watch on all ends.
I will for sure.
All right. Well, I'll send you back. Congrats again, Jim.
Thank you so much. See you next time.
I'll drag Bill up.
Not happy with the performance.
Hello, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Hello.
How's it going?
Heartbreak.
Yeah. So, you know, just what comes first to your mind after that race?
Well, it's a bit mixed. First of all, Jim did a really good job, so props to him. He was really like a machine behind me. I knew that I had a bit better pace and I could really play it out during the night, so I'm really happy with how I drove in general. The pace was really good. In qualifying, I was really happy with the lap I did.
It was a monster.
So yeah,
slap.
yeah, thank you. So I guess that's the good part. And the less good part is that I had a few smaller issues by myself with which ended up costing me a bit of performance. So before that crash, when I had to go into the pits a second time, I actually was losing about a second a lap to Jim because I had some aero damage and a bit of suspension damage. And I was looking at the race timer and doing some quick maths in my head, and I was increasing my pace a bit by taking more risks up the hill, but I really think that we would have met right at the last lap if both had kept the pace we were doing. So yeah, I'm also a bit bummed that we were robbed out of this.
Yeah, and towards the end, you almost came back for another battle. Given 5 minutes, you would have been having another battle with Jim.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, after that crash, I think it was Jaff, but it doesn't really matter. It's nothing he could have done. My rear wing just fell clean off, so I went to the pits for repairs. And of course, I still had the setting for the main pit stop, and I did not have time to reduce fuel enough. So additionally to being behind, they held me there for quite a while, refueling, and then I had a heavy car. So then when I came out after a few laps, when I saw that I was not making enough progress, I just disabled all the HUD and stopped listening to crew chief and just started driving. And well, it was quite a cool experience, I guess.
It was the source of a lot of speculation on our end, because
I guess.
I clicked over to you right when the contact happened and you went into the wall. We saw you lose your wing, and you were basically, when you came out of it and regained control, you were right under the bridge, right by the pit entrance. So that's good for you that you weren't past the pit already, but
yeah, that was lucky in a way.
But we also figured, after looking at your full tank of fuel after that you didn't have time to adjust your pit strategy. You just went in and got what you could.
I would have preferred a corner or two more between the crash and the pits, but yeah, I mean, it was quite lucky, the location where it happened. If it had happened like up the hill, it would have been terrible.
Yeah, it's not a fun circuit. Let me tell you, it's not a fun circuit without a rear wing.
I'll trust in that.
So you weren't really looking at the gaps or anything for the last part of that?
No, I really wasn't. I knew it wouldn't be enough unless he made a mistake, so I figured I've got to put it under pressure, and it doesn't really matter what the gap is, so just put your balls to the walls and go flat out, and that's what I tried to do, and I think it worked out all right. In maybe 10-20 minutes, it would have been something else, but you know, that's endurance. Stuff happens.
It would have been, well, granted, you know, Jim is a pretty seasoned endurance driver. He knows how to keep his race pace at the level that he needs it to be.
Yeah.
But we were doing a lot of math and watching the gap really closely, and you were gaining about a second a lap towards the end there. We went on board with you and got to see you drive in anger, which was a terrifying experience. And doing the math, it would have only taken a couple more laps for you to catch up. So it was like, we knew it was a long shot. If Jim didn't make any mistakes, it was a long shot for you to catch up. But if he had slipped out and even had like a 45-degree spin or something like that, you would have been right there. It was really something.
I mean, I'll be brutally honest. Even if I had caught up to him, I don't think I could have overtaken him. In yesterday's race, when I was also behind him for a while, and I could exit the last corner dipper right at his bumper and accelerate better than him, but by the end of the straight, he was just gone. So that Beamer is just unstoppable down the straights.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't spectating that race. I was racing with you guys, but yeah, you guys had a little bit of a battle yesterday, huh?
Yeah. My strategy was just putting on pressure and trying to get him into a mistake, which I guess worked once, but it would have had to work twice. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's also we talked to him just before you, and that's his strategy for the endurance races as well. So you guys would have been probably having a lengthy battle if it came down to it.
Yeah, I would have really liked to have a battle, but yeah, I was delighted with my driving, so I'm really happy with that, and I hope we can take the GT3s into next season.
Yeah, I hope we get some more exciting racing like that. I know we're all, Jim included, we're all looking forward to seeing what the fight looks like in the upcoming races.
Certainly, yeah.
It is unfortunate if you had taken first in that. We did some math prior to the race, and had you taken first in this race, I don't want to make you feel bad or anything, but had you taken first in this race, you would have shot to the top of the endurance series, because Sula and whoever's in second place were not here. Sula and Josh Quick weren't here. But
yeah, that's nice. Rub it in, Dustin.
It's still some good points for you as far as the longer arcing endurance series goes.
Yeah, so I hope that I can make these races consistently, and I really enjoy preparing for them. So I put a lot of hours into this, and by the end, I was not really having to concentrate too much. It was very in the flow. So I hope to achieve the same thing in the next few endurance races, and then I'll be a happy man.
Well, it was an absolute joy to watch. I thank you for your race, and that was fantastic. And congrats
thank you so much
on your second place. That was
fantastic.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
All right, bye.
I'll drag Finn up.
Yep. Finn, hello.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Great. How are you feeling after that race?
I could do with a drink.
Yeah, I heard that. Of course, I was able to have one during the race.
Yeah, thanks for that.
That was amazing racing, though. We were keeping an eye on you throughout the race because we know you've got you're new to this season. I think you came, and you've been showing some serious promise as far as pace goes, and we were keeping an eye on you because you're gaining position steadily, and it was really entertaining. How'd the race go from your point of view?
Pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that result. Yeah, I hit somebody, I think it was on the first or second lap, and I tried backing out of it, but they spun. But after that, it was just a case of sort of getting my head down and getting some places.
Yeah, and you sure did it. It was, everything kind of went your way, it seemed. I mean, it was hard fought on your end for sure. We could tell you were hungry for the positions, but seemed to all kind of fall into place for you.
Yeah, there's certainly a couple of good fights.
Yeah. We had the camera on you for a bit because you had a few close passes with some other drivers during that.
Definitely. I think there's a shout out needed for Javanice Day, I think it is. We had a good tussle for quite a few laps there.
Yeah, you guys were at it for, I don't even know, half a dozen laps or so straight. And then the part where you guys both went out the kink and both of you touched grass and both of you like went off a bit and then just got right back into the fight. That was outrageous.
Yeah, there was very little let up there, wasn't there?
Yeah, you guys went right back to it within a second of each other after you guys both got control.
It was great fun, though.
Yeah, that was fantastic. It's good to see that performance from you, being new to PCDC and new to this season. That was really fantastic to watch from you.
Thanks very much. Yeah, came in kind of late in the season. Kind of wishing I'd started a bit sooner, but. Yeah, certainly I'll hopefully be around for next season and hopefully do all races.
Yeah, that would be great. We got a couple weeks break here, but I think we've got a nice quick main series lined up for the next one. I think we're waiting on an announcement for what we'll be driving, but I think it'll be a good competitive time next season, so we definitely hope to see you there.
I think the announcement will be out tonight for the season. So.
Yeah, supposedly
think
it's out
it's-
tonight. Let's see what happens.
No worries, we can wait for that.
Yeah. All right. Well, congrats on your podium, Finn. That was great racing.
Thanks very much. I'm off for a drink.
Yeah, sounds good. Enjoy it. You earned it.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Anthony loves GTR in the chat. Wants a shout out. Hey, can I get a shout out to Dino Vetsik? What up, Dino Vetsik? I don't know how to pronounce that, but hello, Dino. Oh, Have a Nice Day has joined us now. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, bud. That was something. How'd that race go from your end?
That was that was certainly dramatic. So
Yeah.
Fink did an amazing job. I gotta hand it to him.
Yeah.
So I was it was a little bit frustrating because the entire race I was a second off my practice pace the entire time. No matter what I tried, I just could not be in the zone, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the nerves or what, but I was off my pace the entire race. And so I was planning on doing one stop. So I wasn't sure what I was going to do because I wasn't sure if my tires were going to, I was on the hards. I wasn't sure if my tires were going to last the entire way. And the computer was telling me that, you know, on the ICM menu, it was telling me that one stop would be good. So I would only need to refuel once. So but just in case I changed tires and I thought I was going to be okay, but then Fink started coming up behind me and catching me. So I decided to pit early so that I could get a little bit of the overtake. No, I forget what the word is, but
Yeah,
you know, when you're on fresh tires.
Yeah.
No,
So,
something like that.
Yeah, there you go. So I pit, and a little bit later Fink pits, but he comes out right behind me, so it was almost a wash. And now my tires are a little bit worn. And after my pit stop, the game was telling me that I was not going to make it on fuel, that I was going to run out of fuel with a lap to go. So I was freaking out the entire time Fink was behind me. Like I couldn't concentrate because he was on my ass. And I'm thinking, what should I do? Should I save fuel? Should I pit now? Should I pit later? And throughout the entire time that Fink was behind me, I kept losing concentration. I was slamming into walls and stuff. And eventually he got past me. Fink got past me, but then I will say, and by now, I'd scraped the wall enough times that I had a little bit of suspension damage. So it was pulling to the left. And by then I thought for sure I was gonna need to pit for fuel. So, but I was still saving. It was really dramatic. And then there was a moment when me and Fink collided on the chase. And that was fun.
That's double off pirouette spin was one of the most outrageous things I've seen with PCDC. There's a perfect 360 spin. You guys both went off, and then you're both back in the fight immediately.
Yeah, that was fun. See, the thing was, so I was in his slipstream, and I knew at this point I know he's faster than me, and I know I have to pit for fuel. So I'm like debating, should I continue the fight? Should I risk it? Should I try to save fuel and try to make it? But so I'm like super not concentrating on what I need to do. But so for some reason, when I was chasing Fink, it was easier for me to concentrate and do well. Mm-hmm. And so then I'm on his slipstream. I get on the right side. You know that kink before the chicane. I actually back off, but I think Fink thought I was right behind him, so he goes wide, and then I'm looking at him because I'm on the VR headset. I'm looking at him. He's going sideways all the way down towards the chase, and I'm like, oh God, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? I saw him hit me, and oh man, it was fun though.
Yeah, that was very intense. It was really interesting that that early pit you did. There was cause for a lot of speculation on our parts, and it was just goofy because we know you know how to play defensively and how to deal with that. We haven't seen exactly what Finn's style is, aside from being a pretty assertive and pacey driver. So we thought it was a great idea. I thought it was a great idea of you saying no. I'll save myself, try to get the undercut here, and not deal with this battle, because we've seen you hold people off for 45 minutes at a time, but there was still like an hour and a half left of the race at that point. And then he comes out just right behind you. That was something.
Yeah, I was kind of upset too. I was like, damn it, that didn't work at all.
Yep, that battle was not going to be staved off for long. It lasted like 15 minutes where you had some time to yourself, but then the issue was forced eventually.
Right. And again, it's frustrating because if I had been on pace, I could have Fink was catching me because I was a second off my practice pace, but it just did not work. Did not work out.
Yeah, some of the best laid plans just go wild during the endurance racing. It certainly is entertaining to watch. I'll give you that much. Those are some fantastic battles.
And one more thing, by the end of the race, my neck was really hurting me. Like my shoulders were super tense. I was sweating. Like I had the fan on me, but I'm still sweating a lot. I can't wait to end the race. It's like the second to last lap, and sure enough, on that at the top of the hill, I spin, and then one of the back markers comes up. I'm facing the wrong way. One of the back markers. We almost crashed into each other.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, that Nissan sure did take a beating for that race. I was impressed. I kept thinking you would eventually just pit for some repairs, but you kept on with it and kept a really good pace, a really respectable pace for how beat up that Nissan got.
Yeah, when I pitted for fuel, I ended up pitting for repairs, but only the aero. I didn't want to risk having to repair the engine.
Mm-hmm. That can take
that would
a
have taken
minute.
forever.
Yeah.
What happened to Echo? Because I know that he was catching me at the end because he had to pit. I don't know why he had to pit, but he was catching me, but then he trailed off.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I didn't catch that or if I just don't recall. Polly or Jans, do you know what happened with Echo?
It just vanished. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if he just had an off and couldn't rejoin, but he dropped like 4 places or something immediately. And...
I'm wondering if it was a DC.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know.
Don't know. It just vanished.
It's just one of those mysteries.
He must have had enough because the it said he had retired, and I didn't know what had happened to him.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't. Cool.
Also, it would be interesting because he was in a solid third. He was way fast, and but then he pitted, and both me and Fink passed him.
Mm-hmm.
And again, after his second pit stop, he was catching us, but then he went off at some point.
At one point, he had his rear spoiler missing. So
that'll do it.
Yeah, possibly just had some. Yeah, just some real bad luck that'll just ruin a race for a guy. That probably was the case there. Yeah, well, fantastic racing. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Thanks, Dustin. Thanks for commentating too. I'm gonna check out the replay right now.
It is a joy, man. It is a real joy. Yeah, congrats on your points on that one. That was a good one.
Thanks, boss. Thanks, PCDC.
See you. All right. Is there anybody else that wanted an interview? Or
Jack felt insulted that he didn't get asked for it.
All right. Well, let's get Jack in here then. It's traditional.
Seriously, there.
It's tradition to get Jack in here for a word after the race. Right, Jack?
Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
Hello. I'm just doing results. You've caught me off guard.
Oh well, I hope
It's
you.
excellent.
I hope you prepared a statement.
I have prepared a statement.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Oh, God damn it.
Pinties for all your chicken needs.
I think it was Paul. He was like, "Is that a chicken nugget on top of his car?" And I'm like, "No, that is a box of Pinty's wings that you can find at your grocer's frozen section."
Yeah. It's not just any chicken wing. It's a Pinty's chicken wing.
Yeah, and that makes all the difference. What did I say their slogan was? Grab a Pinty's? I don't even know.
No.
That's really great representation there, though.
Yeah, I just mentioned I saw the protein bit. I thought, oh, it's a chicken nugget.
Yeah, Paulie just saw protein, and you need that protein for those endurance races, which is why you reach into your freezer, grab some Pinties, throw it in the microwave for 45 minutes, and you're good. So, Jack, I was speculating that your livery, which was beautiful in my eyes, was that an attempt of like a dazzle camouflage, like a psychological assault on the frontal lobe of your opponent with those neon colors?
I painted it myself. I googled car camo, you know, that manufacturers use to hide the beautiful lines of their brand new sedan or whatever else.
Yep.
And I put it on the car and I was like, that looks cool. But it was black and white, as they usually are. So I used the fill tool on paint.net and went to town.
It turned out beautifully. So it really was a dazzle camouflage, actually.
It was,
to begin with. That's funny. I'm a fan.
Was.
I really like those disruptive patterns.
It distracted many a driver into letting me through. As
Yeah.
you may have seen at the start, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Polly didn't even recognize that it was a Fiat because the camouflage was so good. He thought it was a Ferrari.
Oh, no, yeah, you see, it throws it off.
Yeah, it changes the whole lines of the Fiat 500.
It does, yeah.
The car of many colours.
Yeah, what was it? I call it Jack and the Technicolor Dream Car.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, well,
So, yeah, it was.
how'd the race go? Yeah.
How did the race go? The race went fantastically. I wasn't as prepared as I perhaps should have been, so I was a bit apprehensive. I think I qualified in 13th. Patch had come out for the game just this week, was it on Thursday, where they decided to make my car fat. So that wasn't fun, but I think I was lucky. I avoided the accidents at the start, kept it on the straight and narrow, moved up into 6th, and then kind of pogoed up and down between 5th and 6th. Echo ended up retiring. I think he must have took on too much damage, which cemented me that 5th place to the finish. I had 2 spins, one of them that was bad enough to require an unscheduled pit stop. But other than that, everything went perfectly.
Yeah, overall seemed like a really consistent race for you.
Yeah, it was good. It was good fun. And towards the end, I was mingling with Jim and Finn in 1st and 3rd. And that was fun.
That was weird. I noticed that while it was going on, I was like, okay, 1st is about to lap 3rd and 6th is behind. I couldn't make sense of what lap anybody was on at that point.
Yeah, I think 1st was lapping 3rd and both of them were lapping 6th for the second time.
That was very confusing. It's just one of those nice moments.
Yeah, and I mean, the rest of it was the pace wasn't even that different, so we were together for a good long while.
Yeah, that was really funny. I couldn't make heads or tails of it. It looked like everybody was kind of racing with each other, but the leaderboard didn't show that. It was quite fun. You got a few good battles in there, and just overall ran a really consistent race, I feel.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Highlight of the season.
Yeah,
As always.
Yeah, these endurance races are always so much fun. They just feel so celebratory. Like the spirit of PCDC is really, really in these. Yeah,
and really high number of starters and a decent ratio of finishers as well. 50% doesn't sound huge, but with disconnect and the length of the race,
and the circuit,
it's a pretty good number.
The circuit has something to do with that too, because this is about the same dropout rate as the Nürburgring combined circuit that we did, but the Le Mans did not have this many dropouts. So it does definitely depend on how punishing the circuit is, and we usually pick the tricky ones.
Yeah, well, gotta make those drivers sweat.
Yep. Gotta earn your stripes.
Or camouflage, rainbow.
Yeah, your rainbow neon camouflage. Yeah, it was harder than today.
Yes, it was. And now I'm gonna pop downstairs, put some pinties in the microwave, 45 minutes, and it'll come out lovely and fresh.
Yeah, I think it's about time for us to go mingle and have a brew and wrap this thing up. Anybody want to give a shout out here? I'll shout out my mom, my dad. They don't watch
Shout out to
these.
Dustin's dog.
Yeah, he'll shout back. Be careful. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. This is Dustin the Destroyer for Project Cars Drivers Club, joined by Paulie, Jans, Jack, extrovert left earlier. But yeah, good race, everybody. Thanks for joining us. PCDC.link if you want to join us for the next one. Good night.